As the leader of the Booner Pack, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juices pumping, boys.
Welcome to Crunch Time Sports with Jeff, Booner, Lukas, and Gentry. It is Friday, October 4th, and we got a packed show today. All right, we got around the NFL pick'em, college football pick'em. We have a special guest, a man who we've been, he's been our guy for a while, dating back really since he started making this type of content. I won't give it out, but at 9 o'clock he'll be joining the show. Can't wait, pick his brain. We also have a huge, massive announcement, okay? Massive announcement. And if you guys are following us on social media, you might have already seen it. But Crunch Time Sports, when we started this thing with us three, Gentry, best friends, want to talk some sports. This is our first time. This is our first time bringing on someone else. And back in March, I found this man on Twitter, and I came across some of his videos. And what did I do, Boone? I hit you up.
Instantly.
I hit our group chat up, and I said, who is this guy? When we do bring in someone, we're going to bring in this guy. Like this is the guy. Like, it's like if you guys play college football 25, we sent the house. Like, we used all our scouting points.
Everything.
We finally get, and he, had an opportunity at the other company, and, it didn't work out, and we didn't have an influence on that. It just didn't between him and that said company. And we reached out to him because I wanted to give it another shot. We went on a recruiting visit, and he is now
flew the jet out.
He is now joining the program, Mr. Caleb Zarnik. He's joining the program, part of the squad, and we could not be any more excited. Caleb brings a lot of great things to the table. He's going to
I love these. I love that.
Help out behind the scenes. And Roman cooked this up, man. Shout out to him. We love him for that. He's continuing. And he just came out with another merch design, by the way, which you guys can check out on our website. Very, very sweet. I'm trying to get him to make an Italian flag one, but that's a whole nother thing. But Caleb, help out behind the scenes. He's going to join the show from time to time and just absolutely spit takes because he knows his stuff.
He's good. He's good.
Very good at what he does. But please welcome Caleb. Give him a welcome. He'll be joining later in the show.
I want to say this. You messaged me early this year when everything, and we had spoke Caleb, messaged with him when this thing first started. And I kept joking with Jeff and said, hey, that's your number one recruit right there. Like Jeff kept saying, I want Caleb. We need to get this kid. I was like, that's your number one recruit. He went somewhere. It's literally like in college football, the world today. This man was on a team, and he was basically entered the transfer portal. And as soon as we saw his name pop up in the transfer portal, there was no, as Easy said, there was tampering. There was no tampering. This man somehow entered the transfer portal, and it was like a 5-star quarterback. And we're like, how is he in the transfer portal right now? What's going on?
Hey, that's our Cam Ward, Boone.
Instantly, when I found out, I text Jeff and say, hey, your 5-star recruit's available. And we were like, all right, now let's get things in action here. So we got the transfer. There's that nice little transfer portal edition. Shout out Caleb, though. He's going to be great. He does betting. He does baseball. He does, social. He's going to be big with our social as well. He's a big-time asset. I'm pumped to have him on.
Yeah, can't wait, fellas. Can't wait. It'll be a great addition to the team. Obviously, I'm not the biggest Tigers connoisseur. But Caleb, he's plugged in. He knows his shit about him. He obviously knows football. I'm pretty sure he knows a little bit of hockey, too. Pistons, he's in there as well. So he's going to be a well-rounded guy on the show. Like Booner said, he's going to grind off the show for us. And I can't wait to get him, especially when I head downtown for Man on the Street content, fellas. He'll be great down there. So Caleb,
dude,
be a great part
his
of the show,
videos,
great part of the team. Can't wait.
I just someone's got it, dude. His videos on Twitter, they crack me up, dude. Even the one that he put up today. I mean, it's
the lawnmower in the background.
Lawnmower back there. I don't know what's going on. No, he's great. I'm pumped.
Yeah.
Hey, we're growing though. We're growing.
We need.
People didn't think we could grow. We're growing. Things are happening here.
Yeah, he's He's going to be a great addition. He's going to help us do our NFL pick'em, college football pick'em later in the show. So can't wait for that, man. It's honestly exciting. I mean, good for him. The dude he's a star, so he deserves it. Like I said, guys, a lot to get to today. Last night we were live during the Falcons-Buccaneers game, and we gave our picks out. And it seems like there's one guy here who was correct, but continue, please. I want to hear from your guys' opinion.
Hey, to be fair, I was not in the show at the time. I was off cam. I wanted the Falcons in that game. I thought Darnell Mooney was going to have a night, which he did.
Okay.
I thought we hey,
can we just say this? I think it's about time that they switch the overtime rule for the regular. Like, why do they? Who in their right minds like, let's just switch the overtime rule for the playoffs? Like, why not just switch it? And then Gentry was like, well, Booner, if that happens, the Lions, they won an overtime. Lions would have got a stop earlier. I think it was versus the Rams. They would have gotten a stop. Not worried at all. But no, I switch the overtime rule. There's no reason the Bucs should not have had a chance to go down and score after that. Like, that's one of the worst rules in all of sports, I think, is the NFL overtime.
I hate it too. But to Etienne's point, weren't complaining when the Lions beat the Rams. He's right. Doesn't fit the narrative.
Yeah, but hey, we would have gotten a stop though. We would have gotten a stop, so I'm not worried.
Kirko throwing for 500 plus yards.
Yeah, I mean, how do you? Did I know that? No, I didn't.
Did you see the video of you saw Kendall Hodge catch the touchdown shot out over Detroit Lion, and then he's doing the thing where they're running off the field, celebrate, Atlanta stand up, and they turn the camera and behind you to see 4 or 5 Atlanta fans just beating the shit out of each other, and he has no clue. Yeah, Atlanta baby, great fans. Good win for the team though. Good win for the team. And by the way, they need to give the ball to Bijan Robinson more. That's disgusting to watch.
So crazy, dude. That Tyler Algier gets that many touches.
Wow. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it either. Well, Falcons are coming for that division. That's all I'll say. But at least here locally, Detroit Tigers. Hey, they got a game tomorrow, boys. 1:00 game, taking on the Guardians. And we talked about it, 2 days ago. Their record against the Guardians, they're 6-7 against them this year. And they are the hottest team in baseball. That is a fact. We will see Detroit Tigers playoff baseball at Comerica Park. That is a fact, which I think the tickets right now are standing room only. I just
crazy.
Checked. Yeah, so that place is going to be electric.
My cousin got a ticket. He said he ordered it. He got a pre-sale last week or something, and he got a ticket. I think it was for $100. And then I went and looked at the tickets that he has, and they're $400 now, for resale, after. And it's just it instantly, it was literally, he texted me the night that they won, and when they found out, and he already had the tickets, and then instantly, they probably are even more now. His tickets are so that's what's insane. It's so much money.
Yeah, I mean they play tomorrow. Right now they're underdogs plus 125 on the road. Where are you at? I mean, Boone, I know one the big thing we posted on our social. Tariq Skubal, how should they handle that? 3 days rest. You expect him out there on the mound or late game 2? Where are you at?
So they already announced. AJ Hinch was on 97.1 today. Tariq Skubal is going to be going on Monday for game 2. So that's already
Smart
official.
Move.
Tyler Holton's going on Saturday. So he's going tomorrow. Tyler Holton, kind of just a bullpen game. It feels like they'll start Tyler Holton in, and then they'll just start rotating guys. I do think, and I think that's good. AJ Hinch has been so good when it comes to strategy. And you know what? When Caleb joins later tonight, I do want to ask him a little bit about the Tigers and pick his brain, because what AJ Hinch said, he was like, we're gonna go Skubal game 2. So then if it does go to a game 5, which is only a 5-game series, if you get to that final game, guess who they can roll out in game 5 in Cleveland?
Yep.
The man. They can roll Skubal back out. And then you get into a situation. I tried to do the math, and this is where it's good now that we have Caleb part of the program. Is I looked at the next series to where, say you go game 5, you win game 5. I believe you get into I could be wrong. I think it's a 7-game series after that. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But if you do that, then you can get Skubal, I think, for 3-7 or something. So I think he's kind of looking at it long term here too, because you want to make sure with Skubal, get Skubal 2 games in every series if you need him. If you need Skubal for 2 games, you want to make sure that happens. So I think that's a good strategy move by AJ Hinch. And again, guys, I've said this before. I think the Tigers can have a chance to win this in 4. I think the 2 home games, they're going to have an opportunity to win with the crowd. If you have Skubal going game 2 on the road, say tomorrow, like if you somehow win tomorrow and then you go with Scooball on Monday on the road, you're coming back. Like, you're not going to lose a Scooball game. You're winning that game. So say you pull a win off tomorrow, and then Monday you go Scooball, and you go up 2-0 in the series, coming back to Detroit for Wednesday and Friday, or maybe it's Wednesday, Thursday, but back 2 games at home. And all you have to do is win 1 of 2 at home. Like, that's so. Like, tomorrow's a big game. Like, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. If they can somehow pull tomorrow off, you're going into Monday with your head held high, being like, all right, our ace is up. We're already up 1-0. Here we go. You see what I'm saying, boys? Like,
yeah,
if that happens, like if you pull that off tomorrow, that's a huge win.
I mean, you have the we talked about the Tigers in the last 50 games, and if you include playoffs, they're 36-16. And then you have a Guardians team who's about 500 coming into the matchup the last 50 games. Same stretch as the Tigers. So hottest team in baseball. I mean, the money line, it's what I said it plus 125. I mean,
take it. I'll take it.
The Guardians haven't played in Raj 13, 14 days as well.
Over a week for sure.
Yeah, and they're before the playoffs, they're 2-3 in their last 5. So, and I think they faced the Astros their last 2 games, I believe, and they dropped both of them. So it'll be a great one. I mean, I'm excited. I'll be chilling watching the game tomorrow. So I see some people in the chat too talking about it. Who you got game 1, fellas, and how many games? I know we talked with Raj about this, how long we got the series going. So I think I had the Tigers in 5. So I think it goes 5 games to me, and I got the Tigers coming out on top.
Yeah, give me the Tigers. Like we just said, hottest team in baseball. Cleveland hasn't played in a while, and I think with the use of their bullpen and how deep they can find a way to kind of Cleveland, if they come out with a little bit of rust, steal a game in Cleveland. And then at Booner's point, you bring out Scooball in game 2, you get an early 2-0 lead. That's pretty much the series with the way that the Tigers have been playing recently. So give me the Tigers winning game 1. Boone.
Yeah, I mean, I think they win. I'm going to count on them winning tomorrow, and then I'm going Tigers in 4. I think they win it in 4. You just need to win. You just need to get to 3. I think if you pull out tomorrow, you're going to win Monday with Scoobs. After that, guys, you just win 1 of 2. And think about what Comerica is going to be like. Like, you guys already saw what the Lions, playoff game looks like. Like, Comerica is going to be
imagine that series. Because what after is what the ALCS after that?
Yeah, it's the conference series. Yeah. So that series is to go to the World Series. So you're sitting there and you're like, all right, here we go. 7-game series, either versus I think the Yankees or the Royals, I believe. So you're like, hey, I'm just, hey, fellas better step up. I saw WMU said Torque better. We need Torque to step up. We need some guys. Riley Green, step back up, get back into the zone. We need guys to be ready to go on tomorrow. And you're on the road. Oh my gosh, catch them while they haven't played in a week.
That dirty ass city.
Well, a team that won't play this week, Detroit Lions, and we've done a lot of bye week topics this
October.
week. I think this specifically, this discussion, I want to wait till today. Before next week, we'll get into the Cowboys matchup and everything that involves it, all that and much more next week. We'll break all that down, and it'll be fun. But right now, I want to talk about some of the kind of revisiting, reflecting on the Lions season so far. What are some concerns of you guys for the Lions heading into this bye week, or now we're already in the bye week, but heading into next week that the Lions absolutely have to fix? Like, I think for me, the biggest one, and I know it's going to sound odd because you have a defensive player of the year candidate on your defensive line, but to me, it's the pass rush on the other side of Aiden. To me, that is a concern, and it's something that I don't think they can figure out with who they have in-house. I don't know how much Josh Pascal can get better. I don't, and hopefully he can continue to take that step, but that is my biggest concern right now. It's not Aiden. It's not DJ Reader. It's not Aleem McNeil. It's, okay, what happens when, I don't know, the pocket collapse and Hutch is being double-teamed or he's being held, which is something that people talk about a lot, and it is true, but who's going to be able to clean up the play? That is my biggest concern right now, and it's going to be now, especially with how James Houston looked, which I don't think he has a pulse right now. So that's where I'm at, fellas. That's my biggest concern now in the bye week, and it's something I'm going to be watching, not just for next week against the Cowboys, but moving forward, because you're going to be facing some good quarterbacks coming up, and that pass rush is going to be essential.
I mean, honestly, outside of that, I really have no concerns. The only concern that I have is the Minnesota Vikings. That's it. Maybe the Green Bay Packers, but I think with the way that
What did you say?
Maybe the Minnesota Vikings. Like, I don't have that many concerns with this football team right now. I understand the weakness at the defensive end spot, but that's something that I think will be replaced. Knock on wood, Brad Holmes, I think he realized that this year's a window year where it's like Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. Well, not like, maybe we'll make the Super Bowl. It's like, no, you are a Super Bowl contender. Super Bowl contending teams, when they have a weakness, they make a move. So outside of that, seeing the offense play the way that it did without Frank Ragnow, seeing that the defense still was able they didn't play great, but they played well enough to win a game against a great offense in Seattle. And that was without Brian Branch. That was without Derek Barnes. That was without Marcus Davenport. I think Marcus Davenport and Derek Barnes are great players, but they're not irreplaceable. Like, you can find a way to replace those guys throughout the season. Derek Barnes, I think, is a little bit easier given the fact that you held Malcolm Rodriguez. In the secondary, you're only really concerned right now. You can't be concerned with the safeties. Carlton Davis been a pro. I think he's going to get going. It's Terrion Arnold. And the only thing with that is the penalties, and I think he finds a way to fix that. So, I mean, outside of that defensive end spot, my only concern would be the Vikings heading into Minnesota, because I think if you drop a game there, the chances to win the NFC North are definitely not out the window, but they definitely do get tougher. I'm more worried about going into Minneapolis than I am about going into Lambeau right now.
Wow.
That's real interesting, Klotz. It's good to hear the pieces on the football team you're worried about coming out of the bye. Good one. No, I think the pass rush really two things. All right, there's two things that we could talk about.
Talk to me, Boone.
One, I'm with you, Jeff, a little bit on the pass rush. I do think, though, the corner situation, and I know they're going to get it together, that has to be better. And I don't think it's a situation where it's like you don't have the guys. Like, people like bench Terrion. Like, calm down. Terrion Arnold's a dude. Like, what are we talking about here? That feels like clickbait a little bit. So there's nothing with the players. It's more so like, what do we need coming out of the bye? The second half of the season, it's weird saying the second half of the season because of the bye is like not in the middle of the season, but the second stretch of the season, the corners need to step up. Like, this pass defense needs to get figured out. You can't have, like, when you go play an elite, I'm not saying Geno's elite, but a good pass offense with the wide receivers they have, you have to be able to stop those. Jeff, when you get to the playoffs, you said it yesterday, like versus the Chiefs or some of these other high-level offenses, you're going to get cut up if you play like you did versus Seahawks. Like, that's just a fact. So I think that's one thing. The number two thing I'm looking for coming out of the bye, and maybe this isn't like a bad thing at all. And I guess it's not really a concern then, to be honest, but it's more so just like the offensive consistency. Because
I was just about to say that, Boone.
There was the 2 or 3 weeks to start the season where it was up and down, like good first half, good second half, good second half, good first half. And then we finally got to see a full game. I'm interested to see. And I guess it's not, I don't want it to be like a concern because I don't think it is. I just think it's more so like, let's see what happens here. Like, you play Dallas, which has a good defense, and then you play Minnesota, who's been a good defense. So instantly you're going to know, like, is this offense back on track? Did the bye week hold them back a little bit and slow them down? Did they not need a bye week to where they needed to just keep this thing rolling? So I think that's something to keep an eye on, honestly, is this offense. Like, do they use this momentum and keep getting better and better and better? I think they do, because I trust Ben and I trust the weapons, but I think that's just something, like, if you had to pick one thing offensively, it would just be the consistency. Like, are they going to be consistent?
Yeah, and I think that's a good point for the offense. I mean, I wouldn't say anything like besides that. There's not like a specific player I would bring up and say, like, I'm concerned about this. I think it's definitely the consistency. I mean, you have an offense that in the first half against the Cardinals, perfect, Seahawks, explosive, and then you have like the Buccaneers game, like, and then you have the same team that Kirk passed for 500 yards on, like, so that would be a fair point for the offense. Now for the bye week, I think it's going to be interesting because now Dan mentioned how the coaches have to kind of self-reflect. I think that's going to be good for Ben and AG and Dan. So hopefully out of the bye, on the road, taking on Dallas, they'll come guns a-blazing. But I will say to what you said earlier, Klotz, the Terrion Arnold point. Ooh, I'm a little worried. That's a concern. The penalties, I got to say. And by the way, Streams Only, he is correct. They were in the red zone 7 times, and that's fair. That is completely fair. So I'll take that one back. But the Terrion Arnold thing with the penalties, that is definitely a concern for me. I'm sorry. Like, and hopefully a bye week can fix it. Like, you can just wave a magic wand and the penalties just go away. Because that's something that hurts this defense, and it's not anything these guys can, like, control. But Terrion and sometimes the refs are a little exaggerating. I get that. but you can't. I mean, he's had it in every game essentially. You can't blame the ref every single time. You know what I mean? So it's just something I'm not hitting the panic button like I'm worried about him as a player because in coverage he's been very good. It's just something to watch. It's like, okay, coming out of the bye week, what does he look like? You're going to be matching up with either Brandon Cooks, or sometimes they might even throw him on CD. I wouldn't, but there might be a couple plays where he's on CD Lamb. Got to watch. I mean, they're going to target him now, you know, and not only because he's a rookie, but now that they've seen he's prone to giving up these penalties, like they're going to test him. And that's something that AG as a former corner has to drill, you know, be like, hey man, got to watch the physicality. You know, that's just how it works. So
what point do you get to it? Because there's like a sense with the Terrion Arnold stuff where there was a time and throughout the offseason where there were people who were like brutal, like we understood, like he's a rookie coming in, like let's not put that much pressure on him. That's why we was like, hey, he's corner 2, let him like learn and take time to, and then like we're 4 weeks in and there are people out there like bench him, but it was like well known, like yeah, he has the talent, but he's a rookie. Like all rookies at that position will struggle. So that's why it's like I get your point, Jeff. I do think it's just like, hey, we have to let this thing play out. Like, look how long Jeff Okudah got in Detroit. That man came off an injury, and people still were expecting him. Like, oh, maybe he could be the number 1. Like, and it was just
and
like,
he's better. He's just better than
yeah. So like, that's where it's shocking to me that I do get it. Like, we can have the conversation because it is happening, but we knew we were going to be having this conversation. Like that, I feel like that was a thing that everyone knew.
Yes. There's going to be games where I think what will really change is that first pick that he gets, Jeff, because to your point, he is going to get targeted a lot, but he's good enough player where he's going to make a play. He's been in receivers' hips long enough. And just to compare him, Darius Slay was a Pro Bowl corner, all-pro corner. Do you guys remember his rookie year? Like he was a second-round pick, so he wasn't a first-round pick. When you look at Terrion in the 20s, so it's not like he's a top 10 pick, top 15, like a Jalen Ramsey type of prospect.
Right.
Darius Slay was rough. Darius Slay in his second year was rough. Terrion Arnold, I have not seen one play outside of the one where it was Chris Godwin down the sideline, but that was more just a scheme concept, and he was in zone coverage. He has not really given up any big plays. If you look at a lot of these rookie corners in year one, they give up big plays. Now, he does have Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph behind him to help him with that, but that's also going to help Terrion just in general. The minute that Terrion Arnold gets an interception, and it won't click right away where there's going to be no more pass interference or penalties thrown, but that's going to boost his confidence to be like, all right, this is how I did it. I need to keep doing it like this. Just keep repping and repping and repping. He's going to be a very good corner in this league. And I don't think anybody should be panicked right now, because if you just look at how he plays, you can tell he's still very confident. He's not shook at all. He comes back the next play and makes a play in the run game. He make a pass defense, force an incompletion because he's just right in the hip pocket. Terrion Arnold has shown the pass interferences and the holding and whatever the illegal contact, but he's also shown some pretty damn good football against some pretty damn good wide receivers. So Terrion Arnold is going to be just fine. I get the concern early on, but long term, even like in this season, like come like week 10, the game that I really want to watch him because I think that he have a chance to dominate on a big stage is against Buffalo, because Buffalo, they have Josh Allen, but they don't have a lot of premier wide receivers. Khalil Shakur is pretty good. Curtis Samuel is okay. And then they have Keon Coleman. I think if you give him a chance to go man up on Keon Coleman, that's something that he could get his confidence on, because that's rookie on rookie, but it's not Marvin Harrison. It's not Malik Neighbors, who he had to match up with in training camp. I think that's the matchup where I think if Terrion clicks right there, that's going to be perfect, because going into playoff time, going up against San Francisco 49ers, that'll be huge for him. Have him intercept Josh Allen. That's all he needs. He just needs one play where it's like, boom, I can prove it to myself that I did it. That's not a Josh Allen straight either, boom.
Yeah, no, you're correct. That position is mostly based on confidence. Like, and luckily Terrion has a short memory. Like in Michael, Jeff, would you put Vildor in for Arnold? No. And because it's not about his talent. I think if you put Vildor and Arnold next to each other, Arnold's talent is superior by a mile. It's just the penalties. That is it. Like, that is the only thing I'm like, okay, that's just something to watch. But your point about Darius Slay is absolutely correct. So it's nothing to panic about yet. You mentioned the Vikings. And actually, it's interesting. We could talk about this before we get into the next thing we wanted to talk about, which we're going to be giving away awards for Detroit Lions players for the bye week so far through 4 games. I'll ask you, because you already kind of gave your answer, Lucas. Who puts more fear? Fear may be wrong word, but who's a more worthy opponent for the Detroit Lions? The Vikings or the Packers? Who's someone you look at as, in terms of matching up with, you're more, what's a good word to use? skeptical.
Who do you respect more? Which
Yeah,
opponent do you respect?
without saying like you should be scared. But yeah. Boone, who do you think between the Vikings or Packers? With now Jordan Love back.
I'm going to say the Vikings right now. I'll say the Vikings. The thing with the Packers is I just don't know, like, when Jordan Love comes back, like fully back, how is that team going to look? That's where I kind of want to see how this thing goes. But what the Vikings defense is doing, Brian Flores has his defense just absolutely locked in. And when you have a defense like that and you have everyone on the same page, whether you have all the talent in the world or not, that's a tough team to beat. Like, that's a tough team to go up against, especially a defensive team. And then they could score. Like, they still have Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Aaron Jones looks unbelievable. Like, this team has came together so well. And it's crazy too, because I think most people had them finishing third in the division. Actually, no, most people had them finishing fourth because everyone was so big on the Bears. I had them finishing third, but like, I just never would have thought that they would have been a team that's actually competing for the NFC North. And they are. Like, I would put them over the Packers right now for how they're playing. Like, I do think though, they're going to start getting into some closer games and like, it's going to come to earth a little bit more for them, but they're still a good team. And I think right now, like, again, it's tough. Like, I look at the Packers and the Vikings pretty similar right now. Like, I think the Packers too are a really good team. They have a good defense. When Jordan Love gets back, they have weapons. They have to get Josh Jacobs going a little bit, but I would give the edge to the Vikings right now for sure. They look so good right now.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Jeff.
No, I'm gonna say I'm a little indifferent. I'm kind of going.
Of course,
of course. When I thought about it,
man loves going against the grain.
The Vikings are a good team. They're well coached. Kevin O'Connell is in. Brian Flores. They're squeezing everything out of this roster that you can possibly. I mean, it's the quarterback play, the defense, the players they signed. I mean, none of us expected the Vikings defense to look this good. So coaching, they have a damn good coaching staff, and they have some guys. Justin Jefferson, I understand. T.J. Hawkinson's back at practice. Like, they have some weapons. But the Packers, I'm telling you, it's early, but you're telling me who keeps me up at night more? Sam Darnold with an offensive head coach, or Jordan Love with an offensive head coach? Like, to me, just strictly off quarterback. And I know he's injured, but when the Lions play him, he'll be more up to speed. I'm going with the Packers and their defense. And I know they just played, like, ball don't lie. We literally just saw the Packers and Vikings play. We know that, guys. Every game in the NFL is not the same. The Bills look as good as they do. They run into the Ravens, get bitch slapped. Like, we've seen this thing, but we've seen this before. So, like, I don't compare game to game. I'm talking from coaching. Both great offensive coaches. Jordan Love is better than Sam Darnold. Packers offensive line isn't bad. They have a pretty good offensive line. Josh Jacobs or Aaron Jones does not put any fear because, again, the Lions' run defense can handle business. I think the Packers have a really good wide receiver core, and they, especially with Jair Alexander healthy, they have a defense. Like, they got guys now, So I would go Packers long term, even though the Vikings are playing better right now. But I would give a lot of credit to the Vikings coaching staff. I think when the Lions match up with these teams, I'm leaning Jordan Love over Sam Darnold. I'm sorry. I'm not completely bought into the Sam Darnold thing. Like, he's playing well, but like John said, John came on Wednesday and said, you pressure him, he'll throw you the ball. I would lean Packers. What team would be more of a tougher game for the Lions? That's where I'm at.
Hefe, let me ask you this. When Matt LaFleur had Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones and the defense was at a better point, Lions were still beating them. I think when you look at the Minnesota Vikings, just as a franchise, as a whole, they're always much better when they have the Case Keenums at quarterback. When you look at when they have Kirk Cousins, they're not that good because they don't have a good overall unit. But when you look at it, I think if you kind of went pound for pound with the roster, and I think it favors the Vikings, and I don't even think it's that close. The only position I think they have is probably cornerback and quarterback. But the way that Sam Darnold's playing, if you pressure him, he's going to turn the ball over. He doesn't throw the ball that much. He throws the ball 17, 18 times a game, and they're always wide receivers that are wide open because that's what Kevin O'Connell is so good at. You talk about T.J. Hawkinson coming back, and then Jordan Addison, he was pretty much active week one. He comes back last week, kind of hurt, and he scores 2 touchdowns. the wide receiver duo of Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison is what keeps me up at night, because you look at all the yardage that they have, and then you sprinkle in Aaron Jones, you sprinkle in TJ Hawkinson. Defensively, it's not close right now. Like, I understand they have Jair Alexander, but you saw Sam Darnold put a ball in a bucket to Justin Jefferson against Jair Alexander. I think the best Packers defender right now, and it's not even close to Xavier McKinney, and they found a way, the Vikings, to go into Lambeau, and I understand Jordan Love coming off injury, and he looked good in that second half, but they went into Lambeau, and they did that. And I just think right now, I can hear you about down the road. I'm not saying the argument is dumb, but as of right now, there is no doubt that the Vikings are the threat, because they're just the hottest team in football. And if you're talking about, I believe, Lions going to a bye week, they play Dallas, and then they play Tennessee. The week that the Lions play Tennessee, the Minnesota Vikings are on a bye. So you're talking about the Vikings on a bye, playing at home against the Detroit Lions, potentially as the hottest team in football still. That definitely scares me a little bit more than the Packers, because I think the Lions have proven that against the Packers historically over the last couple of years, they have their number. The Vikings last year with Nick Mullins throwing for 400 yards gave the Lions a run for their money in that game. So I'm going to go with the Vikings right now, but I can see why you might lean towards the Packers, but I just don't agree with it. Things would have to change. But I agree with you. If they do, then the Packers. But right now, it's the Vikings.
All right, I'll be honest with you guys. All right, do you just want to be the real one here?
Yeah, because I have something to follow up. If you, I want to hear what you have to say.
I'm gonna be the only right one in the room here. I sometimes I enjoy being the one that's right. Neither of them matter. Like, the Detroit Lions are gonna end up winning the division.
Yes.
Don't pick either one. The Lions are winning the NFC North by a mile. They're going to beat the Cowboys. They're going to beat the Vikings after the Cowboys. They're going to be sitting there at 5-1, and everyone's going to be looking around going, oh, the Vikings thing was cute for 4 weeks. This was awesome. No, the Lions are back. They're here. No one's stopping the Detroit Lions this year. You guys can have your little argument all you want, because it's
no
irrelevant.
one's arguing. They're not. No one's.
You guys are having the conversation for second place right now. What a fun conversation.
Booner, we all agree with what you're saying right now. Do not turn this into a
narrative. Okay. I didn't know. No one said anything. I'm the only one.
Did you just say the Vikings?
And then I said, you know what? I figured out my life a little bit. I figured out my life a little bit. I said, you know what? No, the Booner path doesn't run through Minnesota, buddy. It doesn't.
Hey, don't you buddy me. Don't you buddy me.
It doesn't, buddies.
Buddy me. Listen here, buddy. The conversation was, who is the biggest threat? Who do you respect the most out of the NFC North?
Or worthy opponent.
Okay, I apologize. Who do I respect the most in the NFC North? The Detroit Lions.
Hey, I will say you can have the Vikings, Klotzy, in terms of a more worthy opponent. Just note, we brought up the pass yards allowed yesterday. Lions are 28th, 29th with 258 given up a game. The Vikings are 32nd last in the National Football League, giving up 274.
Let me ask you this, Hefe. How long have the Vikings trailed in games for?
Yeah, well, it's a good point.
Remember, it's like the thing when we talk about, like, oh, statistics, look at them. But look at the game flow. Look at what the Lions did with the Seattle Seahawks last. They were leading most of the game. Geno's throwing for 55 times, and you can't run the ball on them.
And they also lead the team in sacks, or lead the league in sacks. But I didn't want to bring that up because it doesn't fit my narrative. So that is fair. But I think, Matt, hey, that's fair. All right, we'll get to our awards.
Hey, that's awesome. I'm proud of you guys, to be honest. I really am. Fight for second place. It's a cute thing.
Yeah, and no one disagrees.
Hey, Booner, you're on my side. You're on my side.
Yep.
For who gets second? Yeah, it's probably the Vikings. They finished second.
Yes.
All right. Let's do this. We're giving out our bye week awards. Okay.
All right.
And I'm excited.
Oh, we're doing that now? All right.
Actually,
here we go. No, let's roll. Let's roll.
Let's roll. We'll save that. Do it in 10. We'll do it in a little bit. All right, because that's a great point. Because we have, I want to get to something else. And by the way, this is brought to you guys by BetUS. Give me a player or players you guys want to see more out of now, instead of worries, but just a player you want to see more out of next week, come the after the bye week when they face the.
I'll let you lead off.
The Dallas Cowboys. Give me a player.
I feel like we all kind of have the same guy in mind, but I think specifically against the Cowboys, No DeMarcus Lawrence, no Micah Parsons. Jared Goff's he's going to have a little bit more time. Play action's going to be set up. Give me Sam Laporta. You saw him look healthier against the Seahawks. He's hitting, Jeff said it on the stream. He hit the little Euro looking like Manu Ginobili in the open field. He's a guy that I think has still been able to dominate in the pass blocking game and in the run blocking game when they ask him to. So I have no concerns about him there against Dallas. I think as far as a blocker, he's going to dominate. But you look at this Dallas defense right now, they are extremely weak in the middle of that defense. I think that there's a huge way that Sam Laporta can have a bounce-back game, kind of get his season started how we all expected him to. And against the Cowboys, that would be huge. So give me Sam Laporta,
Klotz.
Great player. Yep. Boom.
I want you to answer the question not with Dallas, but for the whole rest of the season.
No,
is it still Sam Laporta, or does it change?
Let me finish, Boone.
I'm asking you the right question.
Let him cook.
No, that's what I was saying. Dallas will be the get-right game for Sam Laporta. Right. So I understand we're talking about through the regular season, but Sam Laporta, we can all agree, and as we talked about it yesterday, not even his fault. He's just been dealing with injuries, kind of banged up since training camp. Didn't do much in training camp, but he's a guy that's an all-pro level caliber player, and he hasn't had that production yet. I think against Dallas, it gets him right. Good opportunity to do so, and throughout the season, we see more of the Sam Laporta that we wanted to see coming into the year.
All right,
there you go,
player. Yeah, no,
are we happy?
One of my favorite things is when we have a question, and Klotzy just goes on a tangent. I'm like, Klotzy, answer the question, brother.
Hey, to be fair, he did answer the question.
I guess he did. We have to be more specific, I think. All right,
no,
Klotzy.
he actually answered the question.
One player,
literally,
and I said Sam Laporta.
I said one
too long, Boone.
No. I said I wanted it. What my mindset was with that question, and I really want to know. It's not like who's going to come off the bye and versus Dallas.
No, who needs to step up?
But I want it. Yeah, not even step up for. I'm talking about for the next 13 games. When you come off the bye, who started the first 4 weeks off, and you're like, "What are you doing? We need you. We need you now." That's what I was talking. And when you said Dallas, I was like, I don't care about like.
No,
I want to win.
You only heard Dallas.
I know.
I'm saying who needs to step up? Who needs to step up? Answer Sam Laporta. Why do I think that this is actually realistic? And
we need to watch the game film because I think you said one player that's going to step up in Dallas is. All right.
He is.
Let me get my player here.
Are we going to ignore while Lucas was talking? Booner was swagging and surfing in the background. Are we just going to
looking like Turco last night?
Yeah, he was.
I was not dancing. I was doing nothing like that.
Go ahead,
my goddamn take.
Hey, who needs to step up?
I do enjoy dancing a little bit, boys. You get me going a little bit.
Hey, who needs to step up in Dallas, Boone? No, I'm just kidding.
No, this is it, guys. The second half of the season, there's you could actually say a couple players at this position. I'll say there's a position. Josh Pascal and this edge rush group outside of Aiden Hutchinson, we need something from you. And if Brad Holmes isn't going to go out there, excuse me, I'm a little coming off of sickness. If Brad Holmes isn't going to come out and he's not going to go out there and go get an edge rusher and trade for someone, you need some guys in-house to step up. I don't care if it's Josh Pascal. I don't care if you say, Mekhi, we need you to go to the edge. Or, hey, we need to bring some guys up from the practice squad. I don't know. But Josh Pascal, those guys, they have to step up, man. You need to have an edge rush. You need to have another a side on the other side of Hutch, because that was one of the things last year, guys, that at least for me, I had the conversation about was like the defensive line with this Lions is last year. You had Aiden Hutchinson, you had Aleem, and then there was just no one else, and you just had no other production. And now you have DJ Reader, but then you look at it and like Levi O's producing, so you have like he can go in and out. But after that, who has there been? And James Houston's not it. We're doing awards. I'm going to give James Houston an award in a little bit. It's not the award that you guys all want him to get. So, like, James Houston, no. We need someone to step up big time in that other edge spot, and you need someone to stand out. Whoever it is, too, guys, you have a career opportunity. As simple as that. Like, if you want to turn your career around, Josh Pascal, if you want to make a name for yourself in this league, step up and go out there and do it. Like, it's right in front of you. You know, it's one of those things. So he has the opportunity. Whoever wants to step up and do it, but someone has to do it. I don't care who it is. Someone do it. That's my step up player.
Is that 13 games, Booner?
Yes.
And into the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just double check.
I want to make sure.
Well, actually, my player ties into what you said, Booner, and that isn't. I think the Josh one or the edge position's great. The other side of Aiden. I'm going to go with Aleem McNeil, and this is why. It's not that he's playing terrible. He's playing great against the run. He's always been great. My thing with him is, okay, you're looking at the other side of Hutch. It's like, okay, we need more production. We need more sacks. Well, you're looking at a guy who last year got 5 sacks in 13 games. You're looking at Aleem McNeil, someone who last year in 13 games had only, I guess, whether how you want to look at it, how you value pressures, but he had 13 pressures in basically 13 games. So this year, according to PFF, I guess, he has 9 pressures in 4 games. So he's pressuring the quarterback, but he's and there's different kinds of pressures. I think Lomas said this. Shout out to Easy, by the way, because him and Lomas and Herman Moore, they do a great job. But Lomas said not all pressures are made the same. Not all pressures are equal. And I think for Aleem, who do you need to help out Aiden? Well, you have DJ Reader, who's a walking double team. You have Aiden, who has to be double teamed. And I think Aleem McNeil, going forward, can be that guy. He can be someone that can get you anywhere from 7 to 8 sacks in a given season. So I do expect a lot of Aleem. This is a guy who's in a contract year. This is a guy that the Lions expect to bring back, and it's a guy that we, and including our Chad and a lot of Lions fans, expect to have a pretty big year. Am I asking for Aiden Hutchinson production? No. But when you have a guy next to you that's doing what Aiden's doing, like Aleem's job becomes that much easier. So for him, it's just getting after the quarterback, but more specifically getting sacks. And I know Aiden always says this too. It's like sacks, how do you judge it? It's just you have to be at the right place, right time. And I think they'll start to come for Aleem. But again, there's a difference between pressuring a quarterback and getting him on the ground, which Aiden has been doing. Like he's getting pressures, he's getting sacks, and there's going to be times where you're facing a better quarterback and Aleem might pressure him, but Dak will still step up in the pocket or escape the pocket and throw a dart. So for Aleem, I need more pass rush out of him in terms of getting sacks. So I'm going to go with Aleem McNeil for a player that I expect to step up. Like I know he will coming out of the bye week and moving forward. So that is the player for me. Matt says Levi is a good one. I see people talking about Levi. Yawning Lion says bring back Betts.
No.
Gives you more than James Houston, I'm sure. What about Isaac Ukwu?
James Houston over Matthew Betts. Or even
what about Isaac Ukwu? Or Mitchell Agude?
Agude, I don't think he's on the. Is he still?
Did they bring him the practice squad?
Agude's the practice squad. So practice squad guys that they haven't brought up yet, and they've had James Houston just release or put James Houston on the practice squad and get some dudes up, man.
That's fair. All right, well, let's get into our awards. And by the way, that is brought to you guys by BetUS, which you guys can use for the weekend because there's a whole NFL slate, even the Lions aren't playing. So if you're a better, BetUS. Let's get into our Lions awards because we did yesterday our grades for the players on the bye week. Today, we're going to do player awards. So we're going to do MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year. We're going to do Rising Star Award, the Pack Ya Bags Award, which is it's an awesome award. Basically saying pack your bags, you're out of here. We're going to give that award out, and we're going to give away the Grit Award. All right, so some great awards to give out today. We're going to start with MVP. Let me get some music on. Hold on. You might like this one. Hold on, let me get this music on. This music's something different, a little different. Hold on, let me get it. Hold on.
We've been holding on.
All right, there you go. All right, fellas. MVP of the Detroit Lions up until this point. Who do you got and why?
Boone?
You want me to go first?
You were the one that... Yes, Boone, go first.
All right. Let me hit it first. There is one man and one man only. Guys, the Lions would not be 3-1, and this man has changed every single football game. Every single football game you've been in. He's affected it. Through the first 3 weeks, let's take last week out, this defense was playing very, very, very well. And there was one man that was the reason behind all of it, getting to every single quarterback. He's the best player in the NFL right now. My MVP through the first 4 weeks of the Detroit Lions season, the man out of Michigan, number 97, Aiden Hutchinson, baby. Detroit Lions MVP so far through 4 games, fellas. Aiden Hutchinson.
Well, let me ask this. Jeff, are you going to say anything besides Hutch? I think it's got to be. I think it's got to be Hutch.
Everyone has to choose something different. You have to.
Okay.
when they're off the board, you can't use that
All
one.
right.
Let's play that.
I will now go
game.
default, de facto number 2, David Montgomery. What he's done both on the ground, and I think he's even shown some life through the air. You look at that 40-yard catch last week where he absolutely leveled Devin Witherspoon. But even before the games, or the games prior to that, he had some good games through the air. But just what he's done when the ball's been asked to when he's been asked to be making the plays and giving the ball, he's making plays. He's making touchdowns. He's producing yards. So David Montgomery right now, he's been the heartbeat of this Lions offense. So he's got to be MVP number 2 in my opinion. If you're not going with Aiden Hutchinson. Pickens up it.
No. You guys gave me the man I wanted.
No.
Kirby Joseph.
All right.
Hey, a takeaway. He's giving you it every game, essentially. That's what he's about. I think every game but one. He has 3 takeaways, I believe, right? 3 picks? 3 picks in 4 games?
Yeah.
That's what he's doing this year. Guys, you know how valuable takeaways are in the NFL. Most of these games are 1 score. We understand that. Even last night, look back. Falcons, Bucks. Close game. All right, a lot of these games are close. You need a takeaway, and who do you count on? Number 31, Kirby Joseph. He's taking the ball away at a high rate. One of the best safeties, if not the best right now in the NFL, at taking the ball away, and we're going with Kirby Joseph. So that's my MVP this year. Hutch is off the board. Dave Montgomery's off the board. Give me Kirby Joseph. I'm happy with that. He felt right to me, fellas.
That's fair.
Felt right to me.
Yeah, this is the draft. I'll go. You guys want me to go last on this one since this is the
No,
draft?
Boone, you go first. Boone, you keep going first. Jeff, you go second, just so it's not like you're saying your answer and then you're now getting into the question again. You know what I mean?
No. What we'll do is we'll mix it up. We'll do like a snake draft, or something, because I don't want to go first every time to get the first. It's like a draft. I don't want to get the first overall
That's
pick
fair.
every time.
I'll go first this time.
Oh yeah. We'll go down. We'll go Booner. Jeff.
We'll switch it up.
Okay, next player. Offensive Player of the Year. Okay, Offensive Player of the Year. Okay, this one, offense has been a little shaky. So you probably have a couple guys you're going to be able to pick from. Okay, and I would say for me, Offensive Player of the Year for the Lions is, at least so far this season, he's got to be the man. The 4.2 speed man himself, Jameson Williams. I got to go with J-Mo because you know what he does to this offense. Game 1, electric, popped off, had a career game, fouled it up, another 80 yards, didn't have a great game, and then Monday had another 80 yards. So I'm giving it to Jameson Williams because of how valuable he's been to this offense. Even, yes, when he catches the ball, but every defense knows. Watch number 9. Because the dude can run like a cheetah. That's what he can do. So I'm going with Jameson Williams, Offensive Player of the Year for the Lions this year.
I love the J-Mo hype, but there's no way he's been as close to David Montgomery for the reasons I said prior. He was, in my opinion, second up for MVP. So I think by de facto, that's your offensive MVP right now. I'd love to give it to Jared Goff or Amon-Ra St. Brown, but it's hard to give it to him when you look at David Montgomery and the way that he's been playing. So give me D-Mo.
Yeah, this is tough. You know, two off the board. It's a tough segment I put together.
At least the offense is a little more wide open, though. At least.
I guess for me, if you take away J-Mo and you took away David Montgomery, I mean, the man that just had one of the best games in NFL history at the quarterback position, I'll go Jared Goff. I'll go Jared Goff with that one.
Interesting.
It wasn't even that game though. It was as well as that first half versus Arizona. Him being able to, and I know he struggled in games, but in timely fashion, there are times where this man steps up. And I think when you needed a win on Monday Night Football versus the Seahawks that we haven't done in how many years? 6 different times we've played them now. I think Jared Goff stepped up and said, hey, I'm putting my name not just in the MVP award of the Detroit Lions, but this is an MVP performance that I'm putting in the NFL right now. Even though I had the stretch of football that we started off with, Jared Goff definitely deserves, though, to be in that conversation.
All right, next award.
I get to go first now. My turn.
Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh.
Well, this is easy for you, Clark.
Here? Give me Alex Ancelot. No. I don't need to say anything about this. Aiden Hutchinson, the guy who leads the NFL in pressures by like 19 or something ridiculous. The man who leads the NFL in sacks, pretty much every pass rushing category. Hutch is leading it. Been great against the run and has put this defense and honestly the team on his back at certain points. Boone?
I'm next. All right.
That's why camera's on you, pal. Buddy.
Why don't you can I add Kirby Joseph to my roster, please? Give me Kirby Joseph to my award roster. When I lay my awards out and I go, these are my awards, I have Aiden Hutchinson, MVP. Jared Goff, offensive MVP. Or offensive player of the year so far. I have Kirby Joseph on my squad. I think Kirby has been unbelievable. If you were to say who's the best player on your defense right now, you would either say right now, it's still so far this year, it's been Aiden Hutchinson and Kirby Joseph. Obviously, I think Brian Branch is going to be the second best player, but missing a game when you're looking at just a 4-game stretch, that's tough to give an award out to. So I'm going to say Kirby Joseph. The interceptions, the ball, one of the best ball hawks in the league right now, probably one of the best safeties in the NFL right now.
What say you?
Oh, yeah. Well, give me the man.
Think outside the box a little bit before you make your decision. Come on.
Are you my GM or?
I am a little bit. Yeah, we consult.
Well, I'm surprised, guys, because and shout out to the chat because they know football. They do, and they're going with the man who deserves it, Brian Branch. He is on the board, and I'm taking him.
He's on the board.
What he's meant. You saw what he meant to this team. You saw what happened when he wasn't there. A lot of missed tackles. Coverage sometimes a little shaky. Brian Branch can do it all. He doesn't have really any weakness at all. So I'm going with Brian Branch. I think his value it's hard to measure because he's so damn good. So yeah, I'm going Brian Branch, and I'll happily take Brian Branch, even though you guys took Aiden Hutchinson's probably the obvious one, but he was already off the board. I almost went with Anzalone, but I'm going to give it to Brian Branch. All right, next award, Coach of the Year. This could be any coach, by the way, any coach on the roster. Coach of the Year.
Oh, I go first, right?
Yep, you got it, man.
Yep, go ahead.
Let's go, man. Hey, Coach of the Year, this is an easy one. Take away – we're not talking Dan Campbell type coach. I'm not even going to talk coordinator. I'm not going to talk AG, Ben Johnson. I'm staying away from all of that. That's where everyone's mind's going to go. There is one position group that has been the best in the NFL. The best in the NFL. This man isn't just a positional coach. This man is a leader of the whole team. Everyone relies on him. Guys, Scotty Montgomery
Good one, Bill.
in the running back room, having not just David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, but you're talking about Sione Vaki, Craig Reynolds. He has done an unbelievable job. And Scotty Montgomery, he deserves so much praise, dude. He is elite at his job. He's been doing it a while, and he has the best running back room in the NFL. And, yeah, the talent's there. But, guys, we've seen him at training camp a lot. We were at 7 or 8 practices this year, and every single time, Scotty is one of those guys that just stands out. When he does a press conference, he stands out. He's an absolute dog. Give me Scotty Montgomery so far for what he's done in that running back room. And I think he also at some point may help out in the pass game as well, pass game coordinator. Maybe not. That might be wrong. But either way, he has a lot of different roles. He is very, very good.
So, for me,
think outside the box, boys.
What does that mean? What do you keep saying that? What do you
think outside the box, Jeff?
End quote. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. Gears are turning. He's trying to think out the box for you, Booner.
Give me my Coach of the Year. The best at what he does, Terrell Williams. Because of what he's meant to Aiden. Because of what he's meant to Levi Onwuzurike. Because of what he's meant to this entire room. So give me Terrell Williams, Coach of the Year. Best offseason addition in terms of coaching, obviously. And a very, very good coach. So the big teddy bear, what do they call him? The teddy bear, whatever it is. Legend.
He ain't one of those. He denied those accounts.
Yeah, he denied those accusations. Give me Terrell Williams.
Hey, both fine picks, fellas. But we're sleeping on a guy who we talk about, Scotty Montgomery. There's a lot of noise talking about Terrell Williams. One guy just been here since day one with Brad, AG. I mean, Ben Johnson wasn't OC, but Ben was here. Antoine Randall Al Gibbon. That's who it should be. You look at what Amon-Ra, he's just Amon-Ra St. Brown. You look at the emergence of Jamison Williams. You look at what that boy TP17 is doing. Tim Patrick, I think when you look at what he does, both with the receivers in general, very few drop balls, by the way. You hardly ever see a Detroit Lions wide receiver drop a ball, especially this season. In the run game, as far as blocking, and just how consistent these wide receivers are, there's never a game where you're like, where do the wide receivers go? There's always a guy that's stepping up, making big plays, and he's been doing it for a long time. Antoine Randall, that is my coach of the year so far.
All right, there you go.
Love it.
I mean, you guys all didn't have to do positional coaches like me. I love how
we had to think outside
lead.
the box, Boone.
Yeah,
I love how I lead from the front here. I appreciate that.
You're no pioneer no pioneer with that category.
Hank Fraley, another one, great one.
Hank's great job. Yeah, he always does too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next award, we're going Rising Star Award. Rising Star.
Last on this one.
Yeah, Hefe, you start this one off.
So I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit.
Oh, okay.
This is a tough one.
No, it ain't.
Well, because I'm going third.
I think a guy who's been playing very well. And I could go with the obvious one.
Oh yeah.
Think outside the box. I'm gonna give you that one. I'm gonna give you that one, Boone. You can have the obvious one. I'm going Levi Onwuzurike. Rising star.
You can't take mine. That's unbelievable, man.
I'm going with the man who's been playing well, sack and a half this year, second on the team, and man, he's reviving his career and he's healthy.
Hopping on my bandwagon. I respect it, but man.
All right, go ahead.
He wants credit for thinking outside the box.
Just do it.
But now it's my turn, Booner. You got to go third. You know what? Jeff left it on a silver platter for me. And I don't even got to expand on it that much. It's Jameson fucking Williams.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's heard all the hate. He's even heard the critics like me were like, J-Mo, I don't think he's going to be 1,000 yards, but he might be a 700-800-yard guy throwing some rushing yards. He can get that. But Jameson Williams, fellas, I know he didn't show up production-wise against the Cardinals, but every week he's been making an imprint on this game. Jameson Williams, without a doubt, looks like an up-and-coming star at the wide receiver position. He's going to be one of those guys we talk about, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Puka Nakua's, Cooper Kupp's, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. Even though Ayuk's not looking good this year, Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown are soon going to enter that conversation if they haven't already. So give me those guys. Give me J-Mo.
Hey,
leave
it up like D-Wade for you.
Hey, those are two great picks. Levi O was going to be my 1-1, and then 1A, and then J-Mo's 1B. Now I have to think outside the box a little bit. There's a man who I said was going to take a big step this year. He hasn't really taken a big step, but he's going to take another step when we come back from the bye. Yeah. That's Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell out over there, hey, with Malcolm Rodriguez, and you got as well Alex Anzalone. Jack Campbell's about to make a big step forward, guys. That's the rising star right there if we're talking about one for the Detroit Lions.
There you go. All right, two more awards. We're gonna welcome on our special guests here. Let's get through these last two awards. We're gonna give away Pack Your Bags award, meaning get the hell out of here.
Dibs.
Get the hell out of here award.
Dibs.
All right, we'll just call it that. Who's a player? Pack your bags. You out of here.
I love him. He did a lot for us. Time might be over in Detroit. James Houston, pack the bags. Sorry, had to say it. I had to say it. James Houston, time's done in Detroit. It was a great run. I love James Houston too, man. That's why I hate to do this. I said it all off season. I was like, I want him to work out. I want this thing to work out. Go trade for an edge. Need someone. Give me Max Crosby. All right,
well, yeah, I think it's James Houston. I don't really know who are we telling to get the hell out. You know what I mean? I don't.
I got one.
Go ahead.
That 1.5 sack Marcus Davenport after the last two seasons that got hurt in week 2 and that got hurt in week 3. Look, it's nothing against the player himself, but we can all agree as Detroit Lions fans, you need an actual dude on the opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson. And Marcus Davenport, with his injury history, is not going to be that guy. He might have the talent to do so, and this isn't a disrespect to him as a player, but we talked about going in the season. The man cannot stay healthy. Great on the 1-year deal, but you see Brad all the time. He's like, injured guy, 1-year deal, bring him back. We've seen it twice now with Emmanuel Mosley. That stuff does not work. Marcus Davenport, very fine player intangibly, but he's just not a player that you need on the Detroit Lions. They need to go find a full-term solution. I'm tired of seeing these money balls with trying to get 3 players that can combine into one. Go get a dude, Marcus Davenport. Appreciate what you've done, but either through the draft or through free agency this offseason, even at the trade deadline this year, go get another guy. Marcus Davenport, thank you for your time. Pack your bags.
All right,
Jeff, who do you have?
It's weird. I was just thinking DPJ. I mean, he's already packed his bags, but that's a guy that I was high on, but that's what it is. All right, let's get to our special guest, man. Shout out to this man. And honestly, shame on us for not having him on earlier. This continuing to cook he's just a pot of magic every fucking week.
Very busy.
If you're not following him, I don't know what you're doing. All right, if you're on Instagram, follow this man at Chef Geach. He's joining the program now. So please welcome to the show, Mr. Chef Geach, a musician, a Lions fan, an influencer, and of course, he's filled with opinions. We're going to help him get those out. Chef Geach, how you doing, my man?
What's going on, fellas, man? Long time no see.
Oh, yeah. Great to have you back on.
Obviously,
situation, but great to have you back on.
Yeah, definitely, man. I miss you boys.
Yeah. Hey, we miss you too, brother. Hey, you're doing a lot of things. I see you on sport. Hey, I mean, this dude's hanging out with, Scott Hansen. He's doing all this stuff, man. He's Hollywood. I get it.
Hey, big time now. Let's go.
He's coming out with music. Like, he's doing his thing. So, Geach, I appreciate you for joining. I want to ask you right away. I mean, the Monday night game, the Seahawks game, Lions are coming out. I mean, Jared Goff, perfect. You already, released your thing on it, which you guys can check out, of course, on his Instagram.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that game and just the offense coming back to life against the Seahawks?
Oh man, I love the offense. I'm gonna be straight honest with you though. Like, I'm not too impressed. That was a super injured Seahawks defense, super injured. But at the same time, they was injured on the D line, and we got an immaculate offensive line. So I don't think it would have made too much of a difference. But I was happy on offense. I mean, we did a good job. We did what we were supposed to do. I'm not too surprised by anything we do no more. It's like it's time to put up or shut up. Like, we doing everything that we supposed to do on offense last year, this year, and defense just gotta
figure it out.
They gotta get together.
Yeah, it's a chemistry thing. I feel like more so. Like last year, I definitely feel like it was we missing pieces thing. This year, I don't think it's the pieces. I just think it's a chemistry thing.
Yeah.
What do you what about like Terrion Arnold in the rookie, like the corner with Carlton Davis, and now you got a rookie with Terrion? How do you feel about him? All the penalties and stuff.
I like TA. He just he come from, what I'm saying, like me and my brother was just talking about it on the phone. My brother pointed it out. He just come from a handsy establishment over there at Alabama, you know what I'm saying? So they real hands-on, so it didn't transition right over here to the NFL. So he get no PIs. I mean, I like the aggressiveness though. So it's just like I would rather that than somebody just keep getting mossed like Cam Sutton. So I'm not complaining about it. One thing I am kind of like, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but like, what's up with Ennis? Like, I was really sold on Ennis, and like he not getting in. So I don't know if it's not he don't got it, or like what is he like? I was sold on Ennis though.
I think it has to do with he was kind of banged up coming into the season. When you have a guy like me who's a vet, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be hard to bump him out of there. Obviously, you're not gonna take Carlton out and Terrion. I mean,
right.
You're benching your first round corner for your second round corner. So I think Ennis is a guy that he'll get going. It just take him a little bit more time. But I love him.
Yeah, I love Ennis too. That was actually my number one corner coming. That was who I wanted. I got receipts. I was like, yo, I want Ennis Rakestraw. I hope we get him if we don't get Terrion. And we got both of them. And I was like, wow, that's crazy.
That's wild.
I literally picked both of those players, like 1 and 2. Like, that's crazy.
No, definitely crazy. As Lions fans, we're all excited. But something that's kind of crazy, Geach, that I don't think any Lions fans were expecting. We had the conversation early on in the show. The Minnesota Vikings. They're looking like they are not the best team in football right now, but they look like it.
Yeah.
I want your opinion. We all shared ours. Who is a bigger threat to the Detroit Lions to win that FC North? We all agree the Lions are winning it. But between the Packers and the Vikings, season long, who do you think gives the biggest issue to the Lions?
Hey, Vikings are frauds, Geach. Come on.
The Vikings are frauds. Like, it's early in the season, man. I'm not too worried about none of that Brian Flores talk, all of that. It sounds good, but it'll catch up to him sooner or later. So I'm not too thrilled about the Vikings, but the Packers for sure gonna give us a run for our money. You know what I'm saying? Jordan is legit now.
Yeah.
I was hoping it was a fluke, but nah, it's the truth. Jordan is legit. Yep. And that secondary, that defense is cool. I think it's gonna be a pretty even matchup, you know. So I think the Packers giving us a run for our money. Thank God the Bears are flukes too. The preseason kind of had me worried. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. I'm like, is this man for real? And now I see he's everything I hope. So Yeah, the Packers for sure. The Vikings ain't. Sam will get exposed. I pray he don't get exposed in London. I want them to come undefeated to us.
I like that. I like that's a big matchup.
Come get this big L. Come get the first L over here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I think the Vikings are frauds. I do agree with that. Hey, I got to tell you too, Geach. I mean, something we talk about a lot, and this year, man, like Davenport going down, and Hutchinson is playing out of his fucking. He is unbelievable. He's defensive player of the year right now, favorited. What do you think of the other side now with Pascal playing a little bit? If you had to point out something you're a little concerned with, what do you think about that other edge spot? Because I was out, man. I was trying my best to speak and tell, preach to the choir about Matthew Judon. It didn't happen. But what do you think about the other side of Hutch there?
Okay, so hear me out. At first, I was against it. I was really, really against it. But I think we should go get Hassan. I think we should go get Hassan. I think we should. I was against it. Only reason I'm not against it anymore is because he's realizing that he's losing money. So I think his stock is going to drop. He's not going to ask for what he was asking for. He was out of his mind for asking for that much money, knowing he's in the latter end of his career. He was trying to get off. It didn't work. Nobody's buying it. The Jets not buying it. Philly wasn't buying it. So it's like, let's make that trade happen. You know what I'm saying? Let's make that trade happen. Give him what he should get now that he know he's not getting what he's been asking for. Let's go get Hassan. I just was against it because we built this roster off of draft picks. I'm not with giving away a lot of draft picks and paying somebody. That's like a double loss. Like, I'm not with it.
We've been talking about getting a rental with Trey Hendrickson, some guys like that. But if he doesn't want to get paid, I'm with that. Geach, I want to ask you this though. You were at the NFL draft, and it was unbelievable, the stuff you're putting out. Can you just share your experience with the people, like in Detroit, back in Detroit? Like, it was unbelievable. You were literally interviewing Caleb Williams and all the players. How was that?
Yeah. The draft was honestly, it was pretty boring. But like if you backstage, like trust me, it's not what you think. But it was a dope experience, you know what I'm saying? Of course, I would love to do it again. My main thing was the city. Like, it brought me to tears at one point. I remember looking like, yo, the city is like out and we on good behavior.
Yeah.
So I was just like, man, like that really literally brought me to tears. But the actual working, like I was working and it wasn't I was backstage, it wasn't no signal, right? So I'm backstage, there's no signal, and I wanted to be like on the ground when we made our first pick. So I'm interviewing players, and I'm like, yo, I'm not interviewing every single player because I want to be on the stage when they make the thing. And they was like, Geach, you're not going to make it in time. You're not going to make it in time. I'm like, we got like 8 more picks. So then I got done interviewing. I think it was, I'm sorry, I'm in California. Helicopters are flying everywhere. So I make the last interviewers with Jaden Daniels, and then I'm like, all right, I'm going. So I'm running down there to hurry up, get to the stage. They're like, Geach, it's too late. You already made a pick. I'm like, we got like 6 more picks. They was like, no, you guys traded up. I was like, oh, we got Terry on. That's exactly what I said. I was like, oh, we got Terry on there. And I was like, okay, bet. So I looked and I was like, cool. And then literally he came right after that. And I was like, oh, and then I interviewed him. Well, I talked to him for a second. It was a good experience though, for sure. I just didn't have, and I didn't have no signal backstage. I couldn't even watch the draft. I couldn't even watch it. I just would hear it like, what happened? And then they'd be like, they'd get text, like somebody had a signal and they'd get a text message like, oh, such and such just got drafted. I'm like, bro, I can't even watch it. I'm like, bro, it was brutal.
That's tough,
don't believe the hype. It wasn't what it looked like on Instagram.
We won't believe the hype, Geach, but one player that I think we have to believe the hype with now is J-Mo. I know you're a guy that through social media at the very minimum was very supportive of Jameson Williams, but what have you taken away from Jameson Williams' performance for the first 4 games? And do you think he's going to be able to keep this production up, or at least the impact that he's had on this offense? What do you think about J-Mo the rest of the season going on?
I love J-Mo. As you know, I was a big J-Mo supporter. I just think we needed a little bit more time. I think he had an unfair start, with the suspension and the injuries and stuff. But now he's had a real fresh start, a whole season to himself to really understand how it works. And now he's showing off. You know what I'm saying? I love J-Mo. I love how we incorporate him in the office. I love how him and Goff is connecting. It's a beautiful thing to see, man. Like he's fitting into his role as a number 2 receiver. And I couldn't ask for nothing more, man.
Yeah, he's
Shout
a
out
dog.
to J-Mo.
Yeah, he is, man. Booner, go ahead, and then I'll follow up after you.
Yeah, you did the last video, and it was to start with the Jared Goff chants. I just want to ask you, Are you all are we all on board with Jared Goff winning the Super Bowl here in Detroit and being the man? Because I don't know if you saw the first couple of weeks. There's all these people just negative Jared Goff comments. This man went 18 for 18, and he looked like an MVP player. I've been boosting him up all offseason long, and the first 3 weeks I was going through it, people coming at me, and now all of a sudden I'm able to take a little victory lap for a week. Or you think we're winning a Super Bowl with Jared Goff? Can he do that for us?
Yeah, for sure. I'm not worried about Jared whatsoever. Like, that's not somebody that, like, I don't have no like fear when it comes. Like, even when he have a bad game, I might get irritated or mad at him, but I feel like I'm part of the team, and I'll be like, yo, like, I know you can do this. Like, I know you can do this. Like, get your shit together. Like, I know you can do this. Like, it's not even a doubt in my mind that you can. I don't have a doubt with you. Like, you're not Jalen Hurts. I'm not sitting up there like, I don't know if I know you can do this. You might have a couple bad games. Get your shit together. I know you can do it. And he just showed his last game. Like, he can hang with the big dogs, like, easily. His Madden rating is so disrespectful.
What is it right now? I haven't played Madden.
It was like a 87 or a 80. It was, matter of fact, it was lower than that. I think it was like an 85.
Yeah,
like,
they do him dirty in Madden, dude. They do.
Like, what? Like, come on, man. Like, nah. I got all the faith in the world of Jared Goff. I think he's gonna get us a ring, and I think he understands the pressure that's on him, and he embraces it. Because it's like, when you hear those chants every game, you better get you a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
you can't hear that. That is a staple, not just in Detroit, around the country, in the NFL. People hear that, and people hear that in the most randomest places. You could be at Starbucks and hear a Jared Goff chants. So it's like, bro, you gotta, and I think he knows that, though. I don't think he's like afraid of that moment. He's like, no, I'm gonna get it. And it's like, I think he carried that chip on his shoulder still, with the Rams trading him and winning one without him. So,
no, you're absolutely right. I got Geach, and I appreciate you joining, man. I gotta ask you, what are you working on? Tell the people what you're working on. I know you're crushing every week with the recaps, which again, people check out his app. But what do you got working on behind the scenes?
Right now I'm interested. Well, I'm not interested. I'm in the process of trying to be more like you guys, and do more. You know what I'm saying? Talk about this a little bit more. Be a little bit more on the analyst side of things. I enjoy the rapping, and it has literally changed my life, my career. I'm still in my solo artist endeavor, still working on my projects, my albums. I got like 2 albums sitting on the shelf, just waiting on the right time to drop them. But definitely starting to incorporate myself in the podcast world, and in being an analyst in the sports world.
Hey, Geach, I want you to know right now, we're gonna say this shit live, dude. You are welcome anytime.
Hey, look! I told Jeff, y'all need to make me the O.J. Simpson of this. Like, y'all need to just call me, bro. Call me whenever I'm gonna answer and just talk my shit. You know what I'm saying? Just call me. I'm coming through whenever. I swear, whenever. Y'all can call me tomorrow and be like, "Yo, you want to come back?" I don't care. I'm here. You know. So
Victory Monday reactions, Geach.
Yeah.
Oh.
Victory Monday reaction.
We got to get on Victory Mondays.
Yeah.
Victory Mondays would be big.
Yeah, let's go. I'm with it.
Yeah.
Hey,
this man did say, "Make me your O.J. Simpson." I had to read it twice. I was like, "Oh shit!" He actually did say that.
Make me the O.J. Simpson, man. I'm on here to just talk and say dumb, retarded, just like outrageous shit, man. Come on, man. I'm with it, bro. I'm with it. Whenever y'all need me, man, I'm here, man. I appreciate y'all, boys. I told Jeff that I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all rolled for me, and y'all shouted me out every chance y'all got and put me on the platform. So I got nothing but love for y'all. And let me just congratulate y'all, because this shit that y'all did as a collective jumped off fast. Like, y'all got traction. Like, I get people that talk about y'all. So y'all got traction moving. Keep going, y'all, in the right direction. And I'm all here for support, man.
Dude,
I appreciate that, Geach.
That is a real one, dude. Geach,
for sure.
We appreciate you, bro. I mean, even you followed us right away. I mean, you were probably one of our first followers on the new account, Crunch Time Sports, when we made it. So it's been reciprocated, so we appreciate you for that. It's big time.
Yeah, for sure. All day, bro. All day. Keep going.
Well, we'll catch. Hey, Geach coming back for Victory Monday. So, I mean, you'll see.
Let's go.
Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, I'm here.
After the Cowgirls, after Rain Dakota Prescott,
I can't wait. And then they got to come see us. We need. That's a
Vikings game after that.
Two revenge games back to back. So yeah, be ready for this recap. I got some special recaps for the next 3. It's
Oh, I got it.
He's already dialed in.
Yeah.
If for some reason you're watching the show right now and you don't know who Chef Geach is, simply type in his name on any social media platform.
Hey, everyone's got to know.
That guy. Okay.
Yeah.
You've absolutely, if you're a Lions fan, there's no way you haven't seen this man's content. You don't even have
especially this week. I'm not gonna lie. This week has been crazy. I don't know how it happened.
That was cool.
I don't know how it happened.
Your production's getting like better and better.
Elite.
Dude. Especially like honestly, it's probably during the playoffs last year. Like, this dude is fucking cooking. Like,
the
getting crazy.
Yeah, the playoffs made it, and I'm not trying to hold y'all up too long, but the playoffs is when we were doing the regular season, of course, in my bedroom over and over. The only time we stepped out of the bedroom was when I did the Tupac against the Cowboys, and of course I did the bye week. I just was in my robe chilling at the house. But before that, I wasn't going to do the playoffs. Because I was so exhausted with this shit. I was like, bro, I'm not fucking doing the playoffs. My brother Roger, who shoots it, who shoots everything, and he came up with the whole recap idea. He was just like, bro, you got to do playoffs. I'm like, I'm not fucking doing playoffs, bro. It's official. And then I was like, everybody kept getting on me like, you got to do playoffs. I was like, all right, if I do playoffs, it got to be some shit. And I was like, what? And then wild card, it just literally clicked like that. I was like, wild card, we got to play Uno. And I was like, all right. So then we found a space where we could do that. Yeah, right. So then we did that, and I was like, every bar is going to be a Uno reference. Like, if you go back and watch that, like, I'm literally referencing every Uno card, draw 2, wild card, such and such, so reverse. So that, and then I was like, all right, divisional round, what are we going to do? And then my brother called me, and he was like, well, what's divisional? What do you think of when you think of divisional? I was like, I don't know, fucking math. And he was like, we'll do it in the classroom. And then I was like, huh. And then it just came to me, like, from that moment on, I was like, I'm going to get a bunch of people to act, and I'm going to write all their raps, and then I'm going to have them go one by one. That was amazing, honestly.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
And then, so this season, that's the approach we kind of taken, like, yo, we killed it for the playoffs. Let's do that shit as much as we can every week this week.
And real quick, Geach, how long do those, like, does it vary? Like, if you had to say, like, on average, how long do those take to make? You got man, editing probably crazy on that. Yeah, like from like writing to recording to editing. Yeah, just the whole process. Yeah. It's got to be done like.
I usually do like. First off, it's so crazy that this one was the most viral, the one we just did, because that's always the hardest one to write because we play on Monday, and I start off rapping about the Lions.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't even write until Monday night, Tuesday morning. So I'm writing it takes me probably about 5 hours to write the rap. Tops. And then we record the actual recording, probably takes another 2-3 hours, maybe 4. And then the editing probably takes another 4. So overall, it probably takes like 10-12 hours.
Hey, what a turnaround.
But we're starting we're starting by like as soon as Monday Night Football go off. And I'm on PST, so football go off like around 8 o'clock. I'm writing at like 9, probably done writing by like 12 at night. I get some Z's in, wake up at 6 in the morning. We shooting, editing, trying to drop by 3 o'clock Eastern.
Oh, yeah.
My gosh.
That's a turnaround.
Yeah.
Hey, domination right there, man.
Right.
To get this thing done.
Yeah, it's hectic. I'm gonna make a content. We've been saying we're gonna make a content video showing people like they have no idea how. Man, it's difficult. It's very hard and tiring for sure.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, and that's what I respect about you. Like you're bringing up some of the bars you were talking about, and it's like clicking now. Like that's why I got so much love for you because you're bringing up like I mentioned this and this. I'm like. Oh shit, he did. Oh, it is. Like, why did that just click months later, bro?
It's so much stuff to go over people's head. I'll be like, yo, like, I'm gonna start pointing them out in the comments, though. I'm gonna start pointing. I'll be trying to see who's gonna catch them, though, like who's gonna catch them and stuff. And then, but nah, definitely, yeah.
No, well, hey, we love you, Geach. You're welcome on this platform anytime, man. And guys, check him out on YouTube too. He's got a YouTube, not just social media, but his YouTube channel. He's posting his recaps on there as well. Geach, we'll see you for Victory Monday, my man. We'll get you back on.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's do it.
Hit me up. Let's do it. Victory Monday. See you guys later.
I got you. All right, there you go, Mr. Chef Geach, the man, the myth, the legend, and of course joining the program, taking time out of his day, man. Shout out to him.
What a legend, dude! Absolute legend.
Dude, we're going from legend to fucking legend, dude. We're
Yeah.
going Cheech, Zarnik, dude. He's joining the program now. So please welcome the newest member of Crunch Time Sports, Mr. Caleb Zarnik. Let's bring him on here. Caleb!
Gentlemen,
Let's
going
go.
on, everybody? What's going on?
Hey,
It's a great night. It's a great night.
hey,
Feeling good.
It's a great night, Caleb.
This is a historic day for Crunch
Dude,
Time Sports.
historic day. We're bringing a lot of tampering allegations. We're denying
Not
it.
true. Yeah.
Not true. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we did it the right way. We did it
Yep.
the right way.
Transfer
Fundamental.
portal.
Fundamental. Transfer portal, sent the house, used all our scouting points. We got you. So, welcome to the team, my man. We're going to do some NFL pick'em, college football pick'em with Caleb. You're a big better, Booner bets as well, so it'll be a good time. We'll talk
Yes,
lines
sir.
and stuff like that. So, let me put some music on. We'll get started here. Let me see this. I got to get this track on. Just added it today. It's pretty fire. All right, hold on. Let me get it.
Welcome to the squad, Caleb, bro.
Yeah, let's
Man,
go.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Dude, let's cook some content up with this, man.
I'm excited, man.
All right,
Yeah.
fellas, we're going to start first game of the weekend. New York, Minnesota. This is in London, by the way. It's overseas. Right
Is
now,
it?
It is,
Yeah.
by the way. Tottenham, Hotspur Stadium.
Tottenham.
Tottenham, whatever the fuck it is. All right, Vikings. Favored by 2.5, fellas. Where are you guys at? Jets, Vikings.
Boone, you want to start it off?
I will say this. I have my 5 best bets of the weekend. I'm skipping this game because that's part of it. Just want to throw that out there. So,
Fair. That's fair.
Klotzy, Caleb, you guys can go on this one.
All right. I'll start, then we'll go to Caleb. I know I've been hyping up the Vikings a lot, fellas. But those London games, Tottenham, wherever the fuck it is, they get weird. You turn it on, you're like, you wake up, you're 9:30. Check your fantasy matchup. You're down by 3 touchdowns like Tyler Conklin. It just doesn't make any sense. So I think this week, Vikings, they finally face the opponent that's going to knock them off. Aaron Rodgers, he's got experience going up against those Minnesota Vikings now. Don't forget, he used to run the NFC North for a long, long time. Teams are obviously different. But give me the Jets. I think the Jets win. By default, they'll cover. Caleb, what do we think?
I like it. What do you think, Caleb?
Yeah, I want to start by saying the London games, all those, they're dumb. I'm tired of them. Obviously, I like football all day. Like, I like it starting at 9:30, but the London game's dumb. Whatever. But yeah, Jets coming off a pretty terrible loss last week. It was rainy and all that in Denver, but I'm gonna go with the Vikings. I think that loss last week, the Jets, that was real. The rain didn't really matter to me, honestly. It was an ugly game, but you still lost to Denver. So I'm gonna go with Minnesota, hottest team in football. They're a good team. Brian Flores has that defense on a different level, and yeah, I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
Oh, okay. So this is, you know what? And
Wow, here we go.
It seemed like Robert Saleh, good old Bobby Saleh, and Aaron Rodgers. It may be a problem with the snap. You know how Aaron Rodgers does it a little bit. Talked about on Pat McAfee, but I don't give a damn. All right, I know they lost to Bo Nix. Not great, but they still have a great defense, and that defense is going to cause Sam Darnold some problems. Okay, it's just the facts. Aaron Rodgers has some experience playing overseas. He enjoys it. All right, a lot of Aaron Rodgers fans overseas. Give me the Jets. The Jets to win outright. Now the Vikings are favored, but give me the Jets in this one, fellas. I'm not surprised there. Obviously, I've been high on the Jets. We'll move on. We ain't doing the Carolina game. Come on, Carolina, Chicago. Who's watching that? I mean, who's watching that? To be honest.
Was that put in there?
No,
That's
it
the
wasn't.
game
But I wanted to mention it. I'll watch Caleb.
So you cannot wait to take your Caleb victory lap after he throws for 201 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks against the Carolina Panthers. But they'll win.
Hey,
DeAndre Swift might likely look like a superstar.
Technically, I don't know where you are with this, Caleb, but the whole with Caleb Williams, he's improved. Hey, by the way,
He's improved.
He's improved every week by the numbers. Improved passer rating, more yards. He's playing better.
Look, what game did they play? They played the primetime game against Houston. I forgot if that was like a Sunday night game. I thought he looked good in that game. The numbers weren't there, but I thought he led that offense almost like a veteran. I think he's improving. I think he's going to be a really good quarterback. I know we're not doing this game, but I love Carolina in that game.
Andy Dalton.
I love Carolina in that game. It is Andy Dalton's season.
Red rifle?
Yeah,
it is Andy Dalton's season.
Yeah, he's
I
playing
love
well,
that.
dude.
Andy Dalton he's on my no bet list. Andy Dalton is. He's one of the 5 people who have made it on there. I'm not going to take him off it, but may consider it.
I don't know. I haven't tested my luck betting on Andy Dalton yet, but I might this week.
Find out.
It's tough. Be careful. Be smart with Andy.
Yeah. Betting on Andy Dalton. That's wild.
That's
Well,
outside the box, Boom.
What about this? Are we skipping over this Ravens game? Or did we
no,
already do that?
that's where I was going next. All right, Baltimore at Baltimore at Bengals. Visiting the Bengals. Bengals, a little bit of life. But where are you guys at in this matchup? Ravens coming off a huge win against the Bills.
This is
right
easy.
now, I think according to ESPN, Ravens favored on the road by 2.5.
This is easy. Bengals they're done. Season's over. They're gonna after this week, they're gonna look at it and they're gonna say, hey, maybe we should trade Trey Hendrickson to the Detroit Lions. That's exactly what's about to happen with this. The Ravens, they're getting hot. They're finally winning some football games. They're starting to feel themselves. Lamar coming along. Derrick Henry. I may have a Derrick Henry bet later in the show, but give me the Ravens over the Bengals. I don't care if they're on the road or what. Ravens money line. I don't even care about the spread. Oh wait. They're favored. Never mind. -2.5, baby, or -3. Give it to me. Give me the Ravens, baby.
I want to pick the Bengals. I want to pick Joe Burrow. I'm
close.
picking them at home. Underdogs. Joe Burrow always goes off against those Ravens now. I know they just beat the Buffalo Bills, so they're going to be on sky high. They did it at home. Threw off Josh Allen, what a lot of people thought was the best team outside of the Vikings right now in football. You can say the Chiefs, but I think pound for pound right now, Bills have the edge as far as the eye test. But give me the Bengals, man. I know it's going to be like, how could you pick them? But sometimes it's the team that gets counted out at home, plays a little bit harder. I think that's all the Bengals need. Defensively, they're going to struggle. It's going to be an offensive game, but Joe Burrow does play good against those Ravens. So give me Joe Burrow. T. Higgins is going to have a game, and the Cincinnati Bengals win at home.
Yeah, you look at the line, -2.5 for Baltimore, and I think a lot of people look at that and they're saying, with Cincy at home, they're underdogs. You know, they can't start 1-4. Yeah, they can. Yes, they can. Baltimore is going to win this game. I think the Ravens figured things out with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. One guy I think that is going to get really involved in this game, who didn't last week, is Zay Flowers. I could expect a big game out of Zay Flowers, maybe like a 6-catch, 90-yard game with the touchdown. I like the Ravens in this one.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it like this, Klotzy, and I know, and me and you, we both like Joe Burrow, and he's playing well. Like this isn't. I don't think this is a Joe Burrow problem. This is a Cincinnati Bengals defense problem, and they're gonna have problems against Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. Over the last 4 games, Joe Burrow 1-3 against the Ravens. Give me the Ravens. Give me the Ravens. Something's got to change. That's fair. They're at home. Give me the Ravens to beat the Bengals. I feel pretty comfortable with that. I don't know. They don't have a pulse right now, Klotzy, but we'll see after this weekend. Next game, Bills at Texans. Texans favored it by 1.5 after the Bills just got absolutely obliterated by the Ravens. Where are you guys at in that matchup?
I think I have to go one way here. Actually.
Yeah, you better stick by your guy, Josh Allen, huh?
Thing is the guys are hurt on that team right now. Like Shakir is out, I'm pretty sure, already on Sunday. I'll go the Bills. I think it's basically a pick-em game almost. I'll go the Buffalo Bills, though. Even though, hey, they're on the road. They're in Houston, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll give me the Bills. They're going to bounce back. There's no way they go back-to-back weeks and do what they did. I know Lamar and their come-out party, but there's no way Josh Allen, he's playing at an MVP level. He's not doing that for a back-to-back week. Give me Josh Allen and the Bills.
I'm gonna go with the Texans. I don't hate the Bills pick. I really don't after they got curb stomped against Baltimore. But I think when you look at Houston, like Jeff even talked about it at the beginning of the week, like Houston against Jacksonville, they didn't look very well. Tank Dell was hurt. He's coming back. I just think Houston's due for a game where it's like, we're going to prove the NFL right now we are a legitimate Super Bowl contender. I think most people already think of them, but I think they do need the game to go out and prove it. And I think this game at home against Buffalo, they go out and do so. What's the spread, though, Hefe? One more time.
The spread, the Texans are favored by 1.5 at home.
Okay, so I'm going to give the Texans win and cover. Yeah, win and cover for Houston.
Yeah, this is going to be a good game. This is probably my favorite game of the week just to watch, not really to bet on, because I like the spread says, it's kind of a toss-up. Houston kind of came into the year as like Super Bowl favorites. They haven't showed it so far, or shown it so far. I'm going to take Buffalo in this game. They got blown out last week.
Here we go, Caleb.
Jacksonville the week before. I'm going to take the Bills on the road here. I like that.
All right. Well, here's the thing I'm thinking of. All right, storylines.
Yeah,
got Stephon Diggs facing his former team, Texans. Hey, Texans, this is a pick 'em game. I'm going to take the home team. I'm going to go with the Texans. I'm with Klotzy here. I listen, it's hard to imagine, right? They just got blown out the Bills. They're going to get 2 L's. Sorry, Booner. Just the facts. And that opens up that AFC East division.
I mean, the Bills are the best team in the AFC East. They just have literally the hardest schedule in the NFL.
Okay.
Like their schedule is unbelievably hard. They're going to win it though. They're going to find a way. Don't worry. They're going to be a battle-tested team too when it comes down to it.
No Shakir for the Bills though this week, I think. So that's tough. You might see a Keon Coleman game. You might see a Keon Coleman game or a big Dalton Kincaid breakout game.
I love that. Have him in fantasy. I would love a Dalton breakout game.
All tight ends have sucked this year in fantasy. It's been miserable.
Yeah, it's been
miserable.
I mean, I had
Evan productive. Come on now.
The guy the last dude I expect. I mean, Mark Andrews has no pulse. I have Evan Ingram. He stinks, and I picked
up Isaiah Likely after 1 week, thinking he was going to be a god, and he just literally has had like 1 point every week. It's unbelievable.
I did draft T.J. Hawkinson, so hopefully, I don't know. We'll see.
Congratulations, brother.
So I don't know. All right, next game. Klotzy, your Colts visiting my Jags. All right, this is what we want, Klotz.
We need this. We need it, Hefe.
Hey, the team, we're battling. It's like second in the division, essentially. That's what we were talking about earlier in the year. I mean, you picked the Colts, but I went with the Jags, so they'd be a little better. They both not doing so well. And the Jags are bleeding. The Jags are bleeding at this point. All right, they're bleeding now. So Colts, Jags, I believe it's in Jacksonville, and they're favorited by.
It's an easy pick.
And this is Joe Flacco.
This is an easy pick.
This is Joe Flacco, Hefe. This is why, and I know we might be going out of order right now, but this is why you lock in the fucking Indianapolis Colts. I mean, I talked about it beginning of the year with the Colts hype. Anthony Richardson is going to be a flawed product. He might have to take a little bit to develop. He obviously hasn't clicked for him yet, but Joe Flacco, wherever he goes, he just puts up numbers. I think is exactly what you need. No Jonathan Taylor, I don't care. Give me the Colts to win in Jacksonville. In Duval, Joe Flacco continues to prove why Kevin Stefanski should not have been coach of the year last year.
There's something you're leaving out. You're leaving out one thing. Their best offensive player is out. That's Jonathan. Okay, maybe you did leave it out, and I just chose not to listen to you, brother. Give me the Jags. What are they 0-4? Like they need a win. This is like the win for them to get. Like this is the most desperate football team in the NFL. There's no way they don't win this game. Like I almost want to put my life on it. I'm not going to do that. I take that back. But give me the Jags. All right.
Give me the Colts. Give me the Jags.
Yeah, mess me up a little bit.
He still can't pick a side.
The Jags.
Yeah, Booner, I was kind of thinking the exact same thing as you. Like the Jags. The Jags. You think in your head like the Jags can't be 0-5 bad. Like they're not that bad.
Way.
You have one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league in Trevor Lawrence, but this just feels like a game Joe Flacco just goes nuts, and Trey Sermon has like 120 yards on the ground for some reason, and the Colts win 24-17. I'm going to take the Colts on the road.
No,
but that is a disgusting pick. I'm sorry, but it is a disgusting pick.
It's a
disgusting pick. I know, disgusting pick, but it just feels like like when Andy Dalton went out in the first game with Carolina and threw for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's going to be one of those games for Joe Flacco, and then he's going to stink for the rest of the year. But this week, I think the Colts are going to win.
Hey, I thought you was going with the Jags. You set me up, Caleb.
I know. That's my bad. That's my bad.
Bro, you know what? I mean, come on, guys. They got to get one. I mean, they got to get fucking one. I picked this team to be second in the division, and they're 0-4. So they got to get one.
Told that. You told us that.
They're gonna get one. Okay, they gotta get one. All right, and if they don't, Doug Peterson, shoot him out of a cannon. Okay, get him out of there. So
I thought you were gonna just say shoot him. I was like,
no, don't do that. We don't. Shoot him out of a cannon. Get him out of there, and then hire Bobby Slowick from the Texans.
Can I say one thing about this thing?
I'm going Jags at home. I think they cover.
It might be one of the most mid-off arguments that I've ever seen on a show. The Klotzy Colts versus the Jeff Iafrate Jags. Like you guys having that narrative, like who's going to win the division or like who's going to be the best. Like they're both not like great football teams.
To be fair,
500. They're still allowed to be.
I mean, I'm not sitting here pounding the table for the Colts to go to the playoffs.
To be fair, I had Texans winning it, but I thought the Colts. I was talking a lot of shit to Klotzy about the Colts. I said they'd be mid as hell.
I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, we had this argument for an hour, and like looking back at it, it's like neither of these teams are actually good.
No, it's a mid-off. That's what this is.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Someone call this team in. I think that's a very fine team in Indianapolis. Josh Downs coming back, first week back, caught a tutty. Mr. Flacco, watch out now.
I picked him up. Hey, I drafted him in fantasy, and I dropped him. I fucked up. I'm trying to get him back.
Yeah,
I should have. I don't know why.
did.
I don't know why. You're right, Klotz. You called him, and I tried. All right, next game. The Browns visiting the Commanders. Actually, hey, Jane Daniels playing well. He's favored by 3. Deshaun Watson, he just forgot how to play quarterback. There's not really more to it than that. So where are you guys heading in this matchup? Commanders versus
I could not be so I'm all in on Jane Daniels. I've been saying this for months. I think they're about to just go off the rest of the year. I'm out on Deshaun Watson. As long as he's the quarterback there in Cleveland, I will never bet on them. I'll never pick their side. Nothing. They are terrible with him at the quarterback position. Give me the Washington Commanders. Whatever the spread is, I will take it. It could be 10. I will take it. They're going to win.
You know, you guys know I hate the Bucs Browns. You know I do. I cannot stand the Cleveland Browns. And the reason I'm picking the Browns is not for a player in this game, but is for a coach. And that is former head coach of the Detroit Lions, now defensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns, Jim Schwartz. I think Jim Schwartz will cause Jaden Daniels. He won't suck. He won't. But I think he'll cause it to be a low-scoring game. And I think the Browns just find a way to win this game. They squeak out with one. But I think Jaden Daniels, for the first week of the season, looks like a rookie. So let me get the Browns. And I don't like taking them, but I think they do find a way to win this game.
Yeah, this one's tough, but I think I'm going to go with the Commanders. I think the Browns are that bad. I think Deshaun Watson's that bad. The Commanders are a really well-coached team. They always put Jane Daniels in the best position. And, yeah, this is going to be another ugly game. I think it's going to be like a 20-10 game, Commanders.
Yeah.
And I'll take Commanders minus 3.5 too, or 3, whatever the line was.
Okay, yeah, you guys make great points. This one I struggle with, to be honest. I would stay away from this game for me, the betting, because I'm not sure. I don't know. Commanders are favorited, but to Klotzy's point, that Browns defense, that's where I'm, and it's hard because you're rolling with Deshaun Watson, but I promise I'm not. I just think this defense is gonna welcome Jane Daniels to the NFL. I think he drops one against the Browns. Give me the Browns. I hate that. God, I hate that. It's disgusting.
I just I
Thought
hate
you guys
it
are gonna be on the
when
wrong side.
You look at the matchup for Cleveland defensively. I like Denzel Ward on Terry McLaurin. I like JOK on Zach Ertz, who's been kind of a little piece for him. Nothing crazy. And then Brian Robinson, very fine running back. Nothing crazy, but I think he doesn't get going on the ground. He's been very productive for the Commanders through the first start of the season. I don't think he really gets that much going for him. So that's the only reason. I'm with Jeff. I hate the Browns.
Crazy. You said a lot there for your bet to lose. It's tough.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe it does, but this is not going to be a pick that I'm locking in. I hate the Browns. If there's a pick that I'll be happy to lose off of, it's the Browns losing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's disgusting. All right. Yeah, and I just see this comment. Ball don't lie. Daniel Jones cooked the Browns defense, you idiots. Yeah.
Things change. It's a week-by-week league, as they say.
It's a week-by-week.
The up-down theory. The up-down theory.
Up-down theory, yep.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right, next game. Packers at Rams. Packers -3. They're favored on the road, which isn't really a home game for the Rams. SoFi Stadiums. I don't really no. Where are you guys at with it?
I just give me the Packers. I'll take the Packers over the Rams. I don't even care if they're on the road. I just think with Jordan Love, the Minnesota game and all that, I see it's his kind of second week getting into things. He needed a week to kind of get going. I think the Packers are going to come out this week, and Matt LaFleur versus Sean McVay. What a matchup, by the way.
Yeah.
Like a head coaching matchup. That's going to be a great football game. I don't care who's out and who's in. Just that matchup there is unbelievable. But I think Matt LaFleur is going to have this team ready to go. Jordan Love's going to look good this week, I bet.
Tutu Atwell, Demarcus Robinson, Jordan Whittington. Won't be enough. I know they pulled off a miracle against the 49ers, but there's no way, no how that this Packers team goes into basically what is a even field in LA against the Rams, and they go in there and lose. I think Dontavion Wicks, big game. Jaden Reed, big games. I think Josh Jacobs falls in the end zone as well. So give me the Packers, and I think they cover by they probably already are favorited. I can't remember what the line was, but
they're favored by 3. By 3.
Favored by 3. They'll win by probably 10.
Yep.
Yeah. Give me the Packers in this one. Get right game for Jordan Love and the Packers. And look, I hate the Rams more than the next guy, but I feel bad for them. They're probably what, 3-1 if Puka and Cooper Kupp are not hurt. That defense has played really well. Yeah, even if Stafford just had Cup, like they're probably a 2-2, 3-1 team. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Green Bay. Jordan Love just has so many weapons to throw to, and last week was his 2-up week, and they almost came back from like a 28-point deficit in Minnesota. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Green Bay.
Yeah, I have Puka on my fantasy team, so it's absolutely brutal.
That's
it's absolutely tough. I'm going to go with the Packers, too. I'm with you guys. I think they win and cover. Jordan Love looked good in the second half. I think that carries over into this game. He looked a lot better. And even though this defense is very good, I'm rolling with the Packers here. Next game, final game, we're gonna pick here. Cowboys on the road in Pittsburgh visiting the Steelers. Steelers are favored by 2.5. No DeMarcus Lawrence, no Micah Parsons. Where are you guys at with this matchup?
So I don't know where you guys stand on this, but there's like a sense of me that Justin Fields is like legit for the Steelers team. I don't know. It just feels like he's not slowing down at all. And I don't know what's going on with Russell Wilson. Like he's like suited up every game. I saw a video of him running out of the tunnel at the front. Like he's like he's the captain, and like Justin Fields is just like in the back, and he's just the one actually playing, and he's actually playing really good, like better than. That's why Jeff, sorry for Caleb Williams, is just not going to work in Chicago, because now look at what Justin Fields is doing in Pittsburgh. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Dallas Cowboys -2.5 at home. I always say this. I have a rule with betting with the Steelers. I always take Mike Tomlin at home. Always. I don't care. You're probably going to bet 70% every single time. So give me Mike Tomlin at home.
Yeah, I'm with you, Boone. This Cowboys defense already at stopping the run was bad, and now you're losing literally their two best defensive players on the team, especially when you're going up against Justin Fields, a quarterback who loves to run the ball and is very successful at doing so. I know no Jalen Warren, but Najee Harris, I think he's a very capable back against this defense. I could see George Pickens making a couple plays, but most importantly, Dak is not going to have time. This Steelers defense right now is playing on another level. It's without a doubt a top 3 defense in the NFL, and they're going to cause problems on the road for Dallas. So give me the Steelers to win at home, and it might be close when you're watching like the stats and the box score, but I think the feel on that game is that Pittsburgh's going to dominate on both sides.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. The one thing Dallas hasn't done well all year, besides last week, is stop the run, and that's what Pittsburgh loves to do, is run the ball. So I think they're going to run all over Dallas here. Booner, great point. Mike Tomlin at home, like it's almost automatic. It's almost automatic. So yeah, I'm gonna lay the number here with the Steelers and take them straight up.
All right, this is hard. And I know you mentioned Justin Fields. Ooh, Justin Fields, very fine player. I think
this man loves going against the grain. I'm telling you,
a whopping 180 passing yards per game is going to put some fear into that Cowboys defense. Cowboys are missing Micah and DeMarcus Lawrence. I think it's going to affect them, obviously. I'm going to be honest. I'm not fully buying into the Fields thing in Pittsburgh. I think Mike Tomlin's a great coach. And that's honestly the best point you probably can make is like Mike Tomlin at home. The Pittsburgh's, they're going to drop this one. I'm sorry. They're going to drop this one. The Cowboys are going to win. Dak Prescott, I'm giving him the advantage here. Justin Fields, he's going to get exposed this weekend. Give me the Cowboys. They win outright on the road.
Do we not remember a time when this Dallas team went healthy with Micah Parsons, traveled into Glendale, Arizona, and got curb stomped 42-14? Might not even 42.
All the towels and everything, like, dude.
Terrible towels.
Done.
Better hope they're not inducting anybody at halftime either, Hefe. It seems like
they probably are. I bet you like Ben Roethlisberger's getting inducted this week. I bet.
Hey, you better hope. You better hope this game is like 13-6, okay, or something like that. Because if it's not, he's losing.
Give me the path. I want the path for a Cowboys win.
Rico
Dowdle getting 40 yards on the ground.
Well, the run game is non-existent. That is fair. But I think Dak Prescott, to be honest with you, in this matchup, if you're relying on your quarterback, I'm giving the edge to the Cowboys. Like, there's no way Fields, you're going to be like, all right, Fields. Najee Harris has not ran the ball that well. I'm sorry, guys. He's been bad. So if you're relying on that, good luck. And if you're relying on Justin Fields' arm, good luck. Okay? He's 180 passing yards per game. I can't make this up.
They're finding a way to get the job done. That's all that matters.
Their defense is going to be the path. I do get that. But
so you can't win like that? Is that what you're saying?
You can, but this is 2024. Okay.
They beat your Falcons team.
Not against the stoic Green Dakota Prescott. Not against the juggernaut that is that Dallas Cowboys offense.
It's all right. I wouldn't say juggernaut. These are two bad. These offenses going to be. I think this game will be pretty ugly, but I'm going to give the edge to the Cowboys here. I think they score more points than the Steelers. That's how it works. That's how you win in the NFL. Got to score more points than the opponent. All right, that is it for NFL Pick'em. We'll get to some college football, and then we'll get to Booner's bets. Okay, so college football. And by the way, guys, I just checked. Michigan State and Oregon. It's about to be the end of the first quarter. 0-0. Okay, Dylan Gabriel has one.
I didn't even peep that they were playing.
They're about to score. Oregon's about to go score.
So it's I just peeped it real quick. Yeah, I mean Dylan Gabriel was like 2 for 7 in a pick to start. So a little rough for your Big Ten winner there, Bill.
You Spartans.
A little rough. All right, first game. Number 9 Missouri traveling to Texas A&M. Texas A&M minus 2.5. What are you guys going with?
Klotz, you go ahead.
Because I hate both of these teams. I do. I think they're both immensely overrated. Missouri's a top 10 team. They're more like a top 20 team. I think just the base of their schedule, if they win this game, there's a real chance that Missouri can be in the SEC championship game because I don't think they're going to be losing many games after that. They might drop one, but that'll be it. I hate Texas A&M as well. I can't stand what they're doing. They shouldn't be in the top 25, in my opinion. I got to go Missouri, but it's not a confident pick. But I just think right now when you look at their quarterback wide receiver duo, I like that just enough to pick them over Texas A&M. So give me Missouri, but it's going to be close.
One thing I love, and as I go through the football season, when I'm betting on teams, and I bet on Boston College versus Missouri, and when a guy goes out there and absolutely cooks me, sometimes I just get respect for him. And that's what happened with Missouri with me. Brady Cook went out there and just absolutely dominated me versus Boston College. And he looked like he doesn't throw for a ton of yards, like 200 yards. Like he's just controls the game. And then they have a defense who makes big time plays. So I like Missouri. I think this Texas A&M thing, guys, like, dude, the drop off of Texas A&M's been crazy. They have not been able to figure anything out for so long. And they're just constantly ranked and they just lose. So I bet you they're going to lose tomorrow. Give me Missouri, and you're getting plus 2.5 like that. I'll take that all day. I like Missouri.
Yeah, for me at least this year, it's been every time I bet on Mizzou, it's like throwing money in the garbage. So this week I'm gonna go opposite, and I'm gonna take A&M and the number minus 2.5 at home. I like it. I'm not a Brady Cook guy. I think Mizzou's overrated. I don't think they're the ninth best team in the country.
No, they're not.
I'm gonna go with A&M.
We're going head to head here. I love it. Let's go.
Yeah, this one's a little tough for me too. Like you got the Brady Cook, Luther Burden, the third connection. I don't know. I'm going to take the home team here. I mean, Texas A&M, even though they didn't have their original starter, backup played last week, played pretty well, and they're at home. So in this case, I'm going to give the edge to Texas A&M, and I think they cover in this game specifically. So next matchup. Hey, what about this? Huh? Michigan fans rematch? Huh? No, hey, little rematch, Natty. Michigan traveling on the West Coast to Washington to take them on. Currently, Washington minus 1.5, and basically none of the players, most of the players that play in the Natty are not playing in this game. And your head coach is Sharon Moore, so congratulations. Where are you guys at with this matchup?
Dude,
you guys want me to go first? All right, that's cute.
Bro, come on.
Yeah, take the lead, Michigan.
Bets of the week, so I'm going to move past this one.
How about this? I want everyone to listen to me clearly.
All right.
Give me Michigan money line. They're going to win the game outright. They're winning this football game. Sharon Moore, you better have the fellas ready to go. No excuses. Go in there. If you have to hand the ball off 100 times, I do not care. You go win that football game. Washington hasn't looked that good at all this year. If you lose this game, I would be, oh my gosh, I'm going to freak out on like this. Just go win the football game. Michigan money line. I don't even care about the spread. Just win. That's all that matters. Figure this thing out. Don't even. Klotz, go ahead. Washington.
That Washington team, they remember what happened last week against Rutgers. They should have won that game. No turnovers, had a lot of missed extra points. They're going into this Saturday with a vengeance. And I'm sorry, I don't think Alex Orji is going to have the answers. I think it's going to be a close game, like I do. I don't want to make it seem like Michigan doesn't have a chance. They definitely do. If defensively they can hold Washington to under, I'll give it 21. 21 points, they'll walk out of there with the W. But I don't think that happens. I think with Michigan, you saw it both in the second half of weeks. They've been able to give up leads. I know one was against USC, but that's a very good offense. But I still just think with Washington, they can find the cracks in that. And last week with against Minnesota, they got way too close for my comfort. So if I'm going to take a team here, Alex Orji, fading him. Sharon Moore, fading him. On the road, pick 'em game. Give me the home or the home team. So I'm going with Washington.
Booner, this is my first time on the show, and I really hate to do this. I hate to do
this. This is big for Caleb.
Look, man, I'm not comfortable with Sharon Moore. I'm not. And last week, that onside kick, that there was no flag on that onside kick.
No.
That was. I mean, Michigan probably should have lost that game. But yeah, like Klotz said, like it just gets too close every week in the fourth quarter. I'm going to go with Washington on this one.
Yeah.
And I hate to do it. No. I hate to do it. I hate to do it.
Buckeye fan, come on now.
I hate to do it. But yeah, I just don't. There's a reason the spread is Washington -1.5. I'll say against the 10 team in the country.
Yeah, like Klotz told me, give me the path to them winning. Give me the path, Booner. They've almost thrown 2 games back to back.
You just lock up, play great defense, and you score a lot of points.
Will Rogers
He's doing the second part of that, but I'll give you the first
last
part.
thing. You want to retract that. All right. Washington, Klotz nailed it when he mentioned last week against Rutgers. They missed 3 field goals. One of them was blocked. They should have won that game. They played well. They're going to come back with a vengeance at home. Sorry. Huskies. All right. They're winning and they're covering. So that's where I'm at with that.
I'll say this, though. I don't know. You just win this game. Like, set yourself up. This is what I want from this Michigan team. Like, just set yourself up so, 1, like the Oregon game matters, and 2, the Ohio State game matters. Like, you can't drop these games. A game that you should be a favorite. Like, it's unbelievable that you're a top 10 team and you're not a favorite versus Washington. Like, it's nuts. So you should go in there and you should win this game. Win these games that you're supposed to win, and let this Oregon-Ohio State thing, like, to where you only have to win one of them. Because if you drop a game like Washington, now you have to go beat Oregon and Ohio State. Like, take care of business this week.
They're there, Boone. They're there. We'll move on. Last pick. Yeah, the last game.
Right.
A Klotzy, Miami, number 8 team in the country, -10.5. Traveling all the way to Cal. What do you guys think of this matchup?
College game day.
College game day. McAfee will be out there. A little stressful last week, Klotzy.
It was. I did not. That game had me on that. Great game. Honestly, I thought Virginia Tech should have won that game. But, hey, every team's going to have a slip-up. But that Cal team, those Golden Bears, they're kind of nice. I'm not going to lie. They got a little squad going for them. But Cam Ward, Isaiah, when you look at just how this team is built, Damian Martinez, Isaiah on the outside. Then you have Josiah Trader, Reuben Bain. Like, this team is just loaded on both sides of the ball. The front line that they have offensively, there's no way. Big game from Restrepo, big game from Cam Ward. I think Miami wins and they cover. So give me the Canes. Holding up to you. They win again this week. They move up to 7 next week.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'm gonna keep it quick. Just give me Miami -10.5. I think that last week, that was the week I thought they were gonna lose and drop it, and they didn't. And so they're gonna go bounce back game. They're gonna play a lot better, and that's about all. -10.5.
Yeah.
Shout out Cam Ward, man. I was wrong.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, Cam Ward's unbelievable. I think Miami wins this game, but I think Cal stays within the number. I think this is like a touchdown game. Cal at home, I like it. I think it will be like I said, like a touchdown game. They're going to stay within the 10. Cal is, but I think Miami will win.
Yeah, I mean, we're all in lockstep. I will go. I do think Miami covers. So I'm going to go Miami after last week. Little odd. Great game, though. Give me Miami here. Bounce back. And they're going to cover this game. I do.
Do we need to like keep track of the record for this week? We like have like a last place something. I don't know.
We should have like a weekly like punishment.
I don't know what it would be.
Now that we got Caleb on, we can start doing that for sure, because we can have just like the weekly, like, all right, we at least have 4 every week, bare minimum.
Yeah, that picture of me in the hot dog suit, that was a punishment. There is
his big introductions to hot dog suit.
I don't know if you guys
that though, Caleb. Don't put that on us.
That was great.
Legendary photo.
I don't know if anyone told you this, but we did a pick 'em and I went 0 for 9 NFL. 0 for 9.
Oh my god!
Embarrassed.
You do the heavies hot dog suit.
Yeah, hot dog suit. It was. I had to. It was brutal.
This is like redemption for you. Fresh start.
Yeah, well, you'd hope so. I think going
Hungry.
0 for 9 is more impressive than going 9-0. I'd rather go 0-9 than 3-6.
I
0-9.
agree,
Yeah.
dude. I'm
Yeah.
100% with you.
Yeah,
That's
'cause
way more impressive.
If you go 0-9, you have a story to tell. 3-6, it's just like you had a shitty week.
If you go 3 and if you go 0-9 and everyone fades you, they're 9-0. Like I feel like I help some people. There's a lot of people who fade me. Like I feel like I help some people out there if I go 0-9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Hey,
should thank
Caleb,
me.
we've seen in the NFL change of scenery, different pieces around you.
Mhm.
Maybe a little bit better coaching on the executive level. It can get you farther where you want to go. So look at that. I think
Oh
we
my
can turn that
gosh.
around.
Yeah, this is my get right week. This is my get right week.
Why he's gonna go like 9-0 now?
Oh, come on, dude. Don't
That'd be-
put
that'd
that pressure on.
All
That'd
right,
be
no.
crazy.
Hey, before we get to Booner's bets, Caleb, we talked about it at the beginning of the show, and I'd love to pick your brain on it because obviously you know all Detroit sports, but we gave our picks for tomorrow's game, Tigers and the Guardians. Where are you at with this matchup and kind of how you see the series going, and who do you got winning it, and how many games?
Yeah. I mean, nobody wants to play the Tigers right now. Obviously the Guardians were one of the better teams in the AL all season long. I like going with Holton game 1. I like having Skubal in game 2, and then you'll have them in game 5. I like that a lot. I think the key to this whole series for me, at least, is going to be the Tigers base running. I mean, they got a lot of young players on that team that have done a really good job at getting from first to third or second to home. That stuff is really important in the postseason. So if they could do that, I could see the Tigers winning in 4. I don't even know if you need Skubal in 5. Yeah, I mean the Commanders, the Guardians have a great bullpen, and but I think our bullpen's a little bit better. I personally think we have the best bullpen in the league. Even without any of the big names, without the Class A's and all that, but yeah, I think base running and pitching is gonna win the series for the Tigers in 4 games.
All right, there you go. 4 games. I like
4.
it.
Hey, I picked 4 as well, Kev. I love that. Win it at
sir.
home.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Nobody wants to play the Tigers right now. Nobody. Give me the Yankees. Give me the Yankees next series.
I
Yep.
love
Bring 'em on.
World Series.
Give me the Yankees.
Yeah, World Series. Yeah. And I think we have a legitimate shot at whoever we play, whether that's the Dodgers or the Padres. I mean, we're one of the better teams in the league. It's so weird to think, because you look on paper, that's not a very talented team, but the way they're coached and the heart these guys have, and the grittiness, it's crazy what this team has done, and it's exciting. And yeah, I really do think they'll go all the way. They're the hottest team in baseball, and I think that'll continue.
I love that.
Oh,
Let's
look at
go,
that.
baby.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
Gritty
I like that.
Tigers.
Yeah, I like that.
Baby.
All right, Boone. Time for your best bets of the weekend, and then Caleb, of course, another betting guy. You can weigh in on his bets and give out some if you got some as well. But Booner, talk to me here. I like
can
this.
you-
I
can you pull it
like
up
this.
for me?
What do you got? Yep, I do.
Can you throw it? There we go. Oh,
I got it.
Wait
I
here.
got it. Don't you worry.
I'll
Don't
wait
you worry.
here.
I got it. Go on, Boone.
all right. How beautiful does this look? This looks good this week, fellas. Honestly, I'm going to be honest with the people.
Yeah, boo.
I always am honest, to be honest. I have no clue what my record was last week. I gave up. I might have been 3-2, might have been 2-3. I don't know. We'll go back and figure that out. All I know, I'm like Dan Campbell. You guys know how Dan Campbell says, we don't care about anything else. Just next week. Tunnel vision. All I'm thinking about is these 5 bets are going to go 5-0. First one, Jeff. You see Nico. Nico, give me Nico. Minus
I like it, Boone. There you go.
trash. Arkansas is bad. Give me Nico. Tennessee minus 6.5 over Arkansas. You guys can make me later for that one. Klotzy, thought of you for this one as well.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Smith.
Appreciate it.
This man, guys, go get it in right now. It's like plus 120. It is an unbelievable bet. It might have moved by earlier when I saw it. It was like plus 120. He has scored in every single game. I do
Best
not.
receiver on the team.
This man will score every game the rest of the year. And they play Iowa. Iowa does have a decent defense. He's still scoring. They're not stopping Jeremiah Smith. It's as simple as that. Third one. I'm going to be honest with you guys. And I'm an honest man. I have no clue why I took this pick. But in just my mind,
Your gut bone.
the Colts and
You
Jags
felt
game.
Booner,
with
I
Joe
love it.
Flacco, doesn't this feel like an over?
I love it. I said it a couple times already. Like when Vegas puts lines like this and everybody's like, what the fuck? Like 46.5 with Flacco versus Trevor Lawrence. That I love it. I love
They
that
want
pick.
you to take the under. They're like, take
Yes.
the under. And I'm going to take the over. That's what we're doing. Joe
Yep.
Flacco versus Trevor Lawrence. Dude, they're desperate. And Joe Flacco's going to come in slinging the rock. Give me the over in this game. This is why I didn't pick the Jets game, guys. I know you guys are all, you guys are on these, I think a lot of you, I think Caleb, Klotz, I think you guys took the Vikings. Jeff, I can't remember what you took, but I'm sure you went against me and took the Vikings as well. Give me the New York Jets.
I took the Jets, Booner.
Okay, I apologize then. I regress. But just give me the Jets. I think the Jets, there's something with this Jets team where they just keep being, they can't figure this out. I think there's something going on. When you travel overseas, everything goes out the window. All the bad things, the bad mojo, all gone. Aaron Rodgers season. He's going to go out there. They might win this football game and knock off the Vikings. Love that. So take Jets plus 2.5. That's an early game Sunday. And then my last bet on Sunday will be I think this might be the biggest lock of the weekend.
Yeah,
Derrick Henry over 95.5 all-purpose yards. I don't know why it's so low. This man will probably get it in the first half. He might just get it rushing straight up. But he is going to have 100 all-purpose yards this week. I love this bet. I might put 10 units on this bet. I'm that confident. With no Lions game, nothing on Sunday, that's going to be my big bet of the week.
I like it, Boone. Honestly, there's not a pick that I have. I'm trying to look. Yeah, there's not a pick I have an issue with. The one that I'd be like, maybe it doesn't hit is Tennessee versus Arkansas, but Arkansas is fucking ass, bro. So
Trash, man.
Like Tennessee would just have to not show up defensively, and they're one of the better defenses in the country. So I love all these. Real quick, can you remind me who you have in the Colts Jag if you had to take a money line, Boone?
Sorry?
You, Jags, right? You took the Jags.
I had the Jags. Yeah, I had the Jags.
All right.
High-scoring game, though. It's going to be a big game. 32-25 or something like that.
Okay.
That was a weird score, but yeah, that's it.
Love it. Hey, and by the way, Jets, like it. Favorite one, though, Tennessee. You know how I feel about that. Come on.
Yep.
Stop playing.
Thank you. Appreciate
Stop
it.
playing, dude. Come on, Nico. I said before, Caleb, I said before the season, I think he's going to be at least in New York. Nico. All right. His last name is fucking difficult to pronounce, but you get the point. All right. Dude's a stud, and he's playing really well.
Hey, real quick, boys, just before we move on.
Go on.
Because I think it'd be a good conversation. If you had to pick one wide receiver in college football, would you rather have Jeremiah Smith or Ryan Williams? Which one of those two would you take?
I'm probably going with Ryan Williams. That play he made last week against Georgia, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. He's like 17, right?
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong.
Jeremiah's 18.
Jeremiah Smith, he's great, but man, Ryan Williams, I think he's a complete receiver. He reminded me a lot of like Chris Olave a little bit at Ohio State in college, just a little bit faster. And so, I mean, I think he's going to be he can be like a top 5-6 pick when he's eligible. I think he's that good.
I love that.
I feel I said it. Jeremiah Smith, dude's electric. Give me Jeremiah Smith. All right. And not that Ryan isn't. I just think who will be like the better NFL receiver. I'm going to go with Jeremiah Smith. Klotzy. I think you probably agree with that.
I asked this question to Jeff off air a couple of days ago. I think I FaceTimed him. I said, I don't know.
What? Bro, you thought he was cooking there. What?
Who did you pick, Jeff?
Jeremiah Smith.
Caleb, who'd you pick?
Ryan Williams.
You took Ryan Williams.
Klotz, whould you take?
Who do you think
What
I'm
do you
taking?
think?
Jeremiah Smith. No, I told Jeff. All right, now I know what I'm saying again. I think Ryan Williams, dude. I looked at Jeff and I said, I think he's like the Steph Curry of football. Like what he was doing, the other day. What I'm saying, like we've never seen like what he was doing. Like he was out there like and it was like I've never seen a wide receiver do what he did like that. That he was like the ball. I saw a comp that said like his ball handling's like Kyrie Irving. And I was like, dude, yeah. And have you ever seen a wide receiver out there that's handling the rock as a wide receiver like Kyrie? Never. Like he's like he's changing the game. That catch that he had to win the game was I've never seen someone do that move before. Never. I've seen guys like straight on be like boom boom juke. I've never seen like backwards like
you gotta land the plane.
Like no, I just think like
do it one more time. The move.
The skill set.
That's it.
The skill set, man.
Did you?
You guys see what I'm saying? Like I feel like he's doing something we've never seen from a wide receiver before. He's so young.
Have you ever seen, especially with Devin Brown as a fucking quarterback in the touchdown, the back-to-back catches that Jeremiah Smith had last week?
I'm gonna be honest. Didn't see them.
They're
You
both.
can't bring up the Ryan Williams catch without the Jeremiah Smith catches. 2 of them.
Hey, one.
Yeah.
All right, I'll watch them. I'll watch them, maybe.
Nice.
Klotz, are you a
I
Buckeye?
always zone Ohio State out.
Are you a Buckeye?
Yes. Unfortunately, Ryan Day is the head coach, so it's a painful era. I cannot stand Ryan Day.
Yeah.
I've been a loyal Buckeye supporter since a wee lad.
Hey, I respect it. I respect it.
Yeah, he hit him with the
Still
wee
felt
lad.
Ryan
I hate this
like
this
that.
guy, dude. All right, hey, shout out,
man,
Caleb.
man.
Joining the
Thank
show,
you for having me, man.
Hell of a debut,
Hey.
dude. I mean,
Hey,
you
you'll be
crushed
back
today.
on every week.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully
Yes,
every
sir.
day, too. Fuck, I don't
I'm
even
excited, man. I'll just say this real quick. The minute I saw, Booner, Jeff text me, I was like, yeah. Like, I didn't even need to read the text. I was like, yeah, this is it. This is it, man. I'm excited to get started. And yeah, to the moon, baby. Let's do it.
Dude,
Let's go.
Caleb,
Let's do it.
it's funny. I was telling, and I told you this on the phone as well. But back in like March, dude, I sent your videos and I DM'd you. I still have the DM in March, and I'm like, this dude. It was your rant on Tom Gores, and I sent it to Boone, and I was like, this dude is fucking great. I was like, I don't know, we're gonna. I was like, pay it because at the time we were still starting, so I was like, I don't want to let him cook for a little bit. Let's get this thing together, and then we'll reach out to him. And then you were just, you were signed, which understandably so. And then when that, hey, you know what happened? When the opening, it presented itself. The fellas, we're like, why not? Bring in the guy, knows the stuff. Honestly, the most important thing, dude, is you bust your ass and you bring so much value. Other than you're great at talking sports, but we need a guy like that can do multiple things, and you're that. So, Caleb, appreciate you, brother. Let's get you on every single week.
You guys too, man.
Get your takes out there.
do it.
And by the way, people that are watching and listening, our ads are above. Follow it because Caleb's going to be coming out with as much content, dude. He's going to be pumping out his own content.
Yes, sir.
And we'll get this man on YouTube eventually as well. So give him a platform. But give it up to Caleb, dude. Shout out to him. Ryan Lynch.
Yes, sir.
Doing it as well. Shout out,
Shout
Ryan.
out, Lance,
Caleb.
Shout out, Ryan.
Absolutely.
Shout out, Ryan.
Ryan's, look at Caleb's a dog. All right.
He's encore overtime. I've got one more segment in me.
The Steph Curry of football, boys. All right, hey.
Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving of football. The 17-year-old Bama wide receiver changing the game.
Dude, he is. You're gonna see. You're gonna be like, man, this is one of the greatest ever, man.
Yeah.
Watch.
Well, wait, we'll see you guys Monday, bye week. But hey, we'll break down the Cowboys game next week. Until then, take care, everybody. Buy your merchandise too. OfficialCGSports.com. Get your merch. Later.